The many murders of Lil Durk. Chad, do y'all think Durk was involved in the FBG Duck shit? Haha. Shit's 4 hours. It indeed is, but I ain't gonna lie. This shit could definitely stall us into the Aiden shit. That'll be perfect time, and as soon as it ends, Aiden goes live. Oh my god, perfect. Aiden streams today, right, chat? Yeah, we can all. Start the vid. What you waiting for? Make sure y'all chilling. Y'all good? All right, come on. Y'all ready, chat? Y'all want me to start it or what?
Disclaimer. Everything in this video is taken from public sources. I cannot be held responsible for content third parties publish. This video is a collection of rumors, lyrics, legal paperwork, and my own opinion. This video is covered by fair use and contains my own personal analysis and critique of publicly available information only. Visit patreon.com/traplordross if you want uncut, extended, and early versions of my best videos. In 2024, Chicago rapper Lil Durk was at the pinnacle of his career. One of the leading pioneers of drill music, the violent modern...
Hold on. Yo, Jake, you here? Yo, Jake.
Yeah.
What's the word, bro?
Yeah. What?
Today's your birthday, right?
With you?
Today's your birthday, right?
No, yesterday was my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, bro. Yo, chat, everybody in the chat, y'all spell happy birthday to my boy Jake, man. How long you been in this call for, bro? I didn't even see you.
I was trying to see how to get in this call. I didn't know you had to be a sub to join the call.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you good, bro? Right now we're just watching this documentary. It's 4 hours, so I don't really want to start a chat. But happy birthday, bro.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'm gonna play the video.
Incarnation of gangster rap. Over the course of his 14-year career, he'd released a series of mixtapes and albums that cemented his place as one of the most influential and impactful gangster rappers in history, and earning him the nickname The Voice. Over those years, he racked up 4 Grammy nominations, finally winning one in 2024 for his inspirational hit song All My Life with fellow rap megastar J. Cole. The song went double platinum, selling 2 million copies by the end of 2023, an uplifting anthem for the streets. It included an infectious hook where Durk claimed that all his life, people had been trying to hold him down. He rapped that they never thought he would make it out, but they couldn't take him and they couldn't break him. In his verse, he admonished the media for calling him a menace and using his past against him. He rapped about sitting down with the mayor of Chicago and politicians in an effort to change his image. Durk had presented himself as a misunderstood and falsely persecuted artist.
Look at him, chat. Does he look like he would commit any crimes? He's a good guy, man. He's a good guy, man. Free Durk.
He was trying to provide a positive message for the downtrodden community he'd emerged from, but it would turn out that this may well have been one big facade, as the world would soon find out the dark reality behind Durk's music was much worse than anyone could have ever imagined. As on October the 24th, 2024, rap fans around the world would get news of a bombshell allegation, as federal prosecutors would announce that they had charged 5 people connected to Lil Durk's OTF record label and rap group with the murder of a young man named Savia Robinson, aka Lil Pab, the cousin of rival rapper Quando Rondo, who had been brutally shot to death 2 years earlier at a gas station in Los Angeles. With Pab's death and the chilling aftermath caught on camera.
Yo, chat, I remember when this shit happened, bro. Remember all the YoungBoy fans and like the Quando Rondo fans and all the niggas were like, OTF had nothing to do with that. That shit was strictly the Crips. Remember, he was into it with the Crips in LA, and that's how it happened. Yo, chat, as soon as I see this shit, you feel me? for one, I was heartbroken, RIP. I didn't even want to point fingers, but the first thing that came to my mind was OTF. And that's just because we've seen this happen before with the Duck shit and shit like that. But the sad day is that, like, even to being an OTF fan, we know that this indictment was coming. We knew. Let's be honest, chat.
Broadcast on the news for the whole world to see.
New details tonight in a deadly shooting near the Beverly Center. We've learned the victim is a friend of rapper Quando Rondo. Video from the scene appears to show Quando Rondo distraught while first responders move the body. So far, no arrests have been made.
It all started at this mobile gas station at 5:30 Friday evening. LAPD says witnesses heard multiple gunshots, then watched a couple cars zoom off. 3 people in one car shot at this black Cadillac Escalade. It's unclear if those inside shot back. Deputies found it peppered with bullet holes and a shattered window. One man inside, a member of
Bro. Yeah, when you shoot at a place this hot, you got no other choice but to get caught. Like, I'm sorry, but 2022, there's no knock on wood with this shit, gang. Like, you feel me? Like, you're shooting at the Beverly Center, nigga. If they're not getting you immediately, they're building up something else. You know what I'm saying?
His entourage had been shot. The 23-year-old was taken to the hospital where he died. The scene left with remnants of the fight, shoes left in the street, doors flung open. Shots fired, a fight taken to the streets, and this chaotic scene, the ending of a shooting that started in Los Angeles, California. Sheriff's deputies pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV. Savannah rapper Quando Rondo, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
The details and footage of this disturbing murder would be seen and read all around the world. But not only was it a brutal hit, carried out in broad daylight with no regards for the safety of the public, but it took place next to one of the most popular tourist attractions in the city, the Beverly Center shopping mall.
And I've been there multiple times. I know how that shopping mall is, nigga. There's police everywhere. You feel me? Like, not really everywhere, but there's police definitely in the area. You feel me?
A brazen murder that ironically bared the hallmarks of a
Yo, Logic, thank you for the 2 or 3 months. Yo, Alvin, thank you for the sub.
similar murder carried out in Chicago 2 years prior, where another rap rival of Lil Durk's,
Chat, don't forget, if y'all get 5 subs, Valorant will match you. Just a heads up, but thank y'all for the subs.
FBG Duck, was gunned down by a group of 6 men, with that crime also being caught on surveillance footage in its entirety.
RP Duck, chat.
Once again in broad daylight in a busy tourist hotspot, a high-end fashion district, with the murder happening right outside the Dolce & Gabbana store.
Well, Rob, Chicago police tell me that these 3 victims were targeted, that 4 men in 2 different vehicles came down Oak Street, stopped right here in the middle, and started firing. Lights, sirens, and crime scene tape taking over one of Chicago's most notable streets. Word is spreading on social media that the 26-year-old man pronounced dead is a well-known Chicago rapper.
To see this happen in the middle of the day is very, very disturbing.
And just like in the murder of Lil Pab, FBG Duck was left to die in the middle of the street, traumatizing innocent members of the public, one of whom was...
RP, chat. Yo, chat, can I get some RPs, please, bro? I ain't gonna lie, like, I say that for a reason, bro, because I ain't gonna lie, this shit really is sad at the end of the day, you feel me? Like, I want niggas to understand, like, even though it's our favorite artist and this shit involves the music, you feel me? There's certain shit you don't condone, you know what I'm saying? Real shit.
Crossfire.
Hey y'all, what's going on? I'm here. I'm in the Gold Coast. I'm in the Gold Coast right now. Yeah, man, I was just riding my bike, y'all. I'm just riding my bike. Man, we need to take. They shot FBG Duck, man. I don't know who shot him, man. I just ran into this, y'all. Man.
But interestingly, all of the men who were involved in the murder of FBG Duck were found guilty of murder, despite the fact that for over a year while the case was being built, they seemingly ran free, expecting no consequences and incriminating themselves extensively.
For 2 years.
Those people involved in the murder were dead by the time the FBI swooped in and delivered justice, and many of those involved were close friends of Lil Durk himself. One of those convicted, Marcus Smart, known in the streets and on songs as Moo-Wop, was a very close friend of Durk's, even being seen on flights with Durk, flexing wads of cash shortly before his arrest and posing for pictures, calling himself Gangsta Killer.
What's the word, Kaz? Yo, chat. This nigga really had these niggas on. He really had killers on part of the jets, nigga. Like,
All of this isn't a good look for Durk, but the most important piece of the puzzle is another infamous figure in the Chicago gangland, as well as its buzzing drill music scene, infamous Black Disciple member and apparent leader of the O-Block faction of the gang, King Von. Allegedly, Von had orchestrated the murder of Duck and put a 6-figure bounty on his head prior to...
Now, chat, do y'all really think that Von did that, or do y'all think that Durk was involved too? Nah, I ain't gonna lie, I believe it for it to be Von though, because Von is that. It might have been Von. But why are they putting his body? They're putting his body on Durk though, shit. So.
The murder, but this wasn't Von's first time taking a life in Chicago. Von
oh yeah, it was DThang. It was Durk's brother. They said that DThang was involved on some shit, didn't they? I could have sworn they said DThang. Yeah. The feds said it was Von and DThang. Yeah.
Allegedly killed 7 people in the gang war between the Black Disciples and the Gangster Disciples in Chicago. Something that I broke down in detail in a 3-hour documentary on my channel, where I actually argued that he indeed met the FBI's definition of a serial killer. Somehow, Von always managed to evade justice, either beating his...
Chad, do y'all think Von's a serial killer? Nah, I don't think so.
In court due to lack of evidence, or not being charged at all due to the fact that his murders were usually committed in the dead of night in the slums of Southside Chicago, rather than the broad daylight assassinations that his friends would later carry out in front of the public. King Von was one of Lil Durk's best friends, and when Von beat his last murder charge at the end of...
he is. Nah, I don't think Von's a serial killer, because I feel like a serial killer would just get dopamine off killing niggas, and like it feeds their ego and shit. Which, I mean, it probably did for him. But like, he was killing enemies. It's not like he was killing strangers. He killed niggas he knew. It's not like he was just creeping up on niggas trying to catch a hat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
2017, he decided to follow in Lil Durk's footsteps, becoming a drill rapper too, and openly rapping about the many murders he'd allegedly committed. Von's raps, openly bragging about real murders he'd apparently committed, made him a star in drill music, and with Lil Durk's help and guidance, he quickly became the most buzzing gangster rapper in drill music. But in his heart, Von was still a violent thug, and his tendencies to commit brazen violence would begin to impact Durk's career. In 2019, Von and Durk, along with 2 other people, would be accused of attempted murder and armed robbery, with the 2 appearing in court together.
Yo, I forgot that Durk was accused on this attempted murder, bro. I don't know how he beat that shit. I don't think the documents ever came out. Oh, it's like evidence.
Case against a rapper accused in a shooting outside of the varsity.
Exactly. Are the niggas in the army serial killers? No, nigga. The fuck? Are people who fight for our country serial killers? No, nigga. So why would Von be a serial killer? Fuck. He's not listed as a serial killer, nigga. That's not a serial killer, nigga. They killing legally. What? Bro. Stop it, bro. So you telling me... Nigga said they killing legally. What? Am I slow? So if murder was legal, it's cool? Fuck? Yo, Casper the Demon, thank you for the prime.
Pro FR 17 to 18 Derrick Rose Fasho. Relieved face.
Is the RB in jail? What? What are you asking me, bro? Not gonna lie, just in stream after that? Bro, what? Bro. Gang. Listen, I know in the military, people do that to protect our country. You feel me? I'm not denying that. You feel me? But I think that, like, it's different for people who have, like, different beliefs. You feel me? Like, thank you. When North Cash said, like, to some people, bro, killing is killing. It don't matter how you kill, it's killing. You feel me? Killing is still a sin if you're religious. You feel me? Murder is still a sin if you're religious. You feel me? And don't get me wrong, there's certain times where you might have to be put in a situation to kill. You feel me? There might be certain times where you might have to be put in a situation to kill. It's called self-defense. You feel me? Now, don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Killing is still killing. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of people who don't believe against self-defense. Like, there's a lot of people who are against gun laws and shit like that. And, you know, there's some people who want guns banned and all types of shit. You feel me? But what I'm trying to say is, like, in Von's standpoint, those niggas were doing shit to them too. So it's like, At what point is it self-defense? Am I making sense? Or am I just fried? Jack, keep it on. Am I fried? Look, what I'm trying to say is this. I'm gonna continue the video. Just give me like 10 seconds. What I'm trying to say is this. Those niggas were doing shit to O Block. You feel me? So that nigga's mindset might have been, let me get these niggas out the way first before these niggas like stop harming my people. Does that make sense? Yeah. Either way it goes, two wrongs don't make a right. Killing is killing, you feel me? And war is still war, you feel me? So that's what I was trying to explain to y'all when it came down to the military and shit. Like, yes, I know they're protecting our country, but war is still war. Understand that, you feel me? I didn't mean it in a negative intent, deadass.
Will move forward. Today, Lil Durk appeared in court where a judge ruled there was enough evidence for him to go to trial. On Friday, detectives from Atlanta and Chicago testified in the criminal case against rapper Lil Durk in Fulton County Court. They say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Banks, and his co-defendant Devon Bennett were seen on camera involved in shooting Alexander Witherspoon, a person police say they knew.
They were hanging out. They went to a studio to make music.
The rapper and Bennett listened to the evidence against them in court. Police told the judge later that night the victim, Banks, Bennett, and others went to a nightclub, a gas station, and ended up in the parking lot of the Varsity. That's when Witherspoon said he was robbed and shot.
Interestingly, Durk looked stressed and nervous in court, while Von looked comfortable and in a familiar domain. Durk and Von would refer to themselves over the years as the Evil Twins, and in one song titled Evil Twins, they referred to themselves as that and went back and forth, repeating, "If you do it, I'ma do it," even saying go hop out the car and do it. Clearly Von was a dark and negative influence on Lil Durk and his career. Von was in the habit of doing real crimes and rapping about them in his music without a care for who heard it. And if Von did it, then Durk would begin doing it too.
Chad, do y'all think that Von was a bad influence on Durk's career? Or do y'all think that Durk been doing this shit he was doing, he just not getting caught for it? Been doing it?
But unfortunately for the Evil Twins, Von would suddenly die in November 2020 after launching an unprovoked beating on the rapper Quando Rondo in front of an Atlanta hookah lounge. Sometimes in life, every action has a reaction.
Yeah, I want to say Durk's been doing it too. But you know, like, there's like a rumor out there that like that Durk didn't even really know Von for real. He just wanted to keep him around because of his reputation of him being a top killer. Now, that one is concerning because I don't know if that's real or a cap, because I'm a big Durk fan, but when I think about it, like back then in the day, I don't think I've ever seen Durk with Von, like ever. You feel me? But maybe I wasn't paying attention, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Yo, Prime, thank you for the, chat, bro. Can this shit stop? Can I calm down? Yo, damn it, thank you for the Prime.
This beating resulted in one of Quando's friends, Lil Tim, jumping out of the car, opening fire, and killing King Von. Ironically, Von, the demonic killer turned rapper who had seemingly murdered 7 people in Chicago and got away with it, ended up getting shot dead.
Yeah, but Von got locked up when? Like 2014. Nigga, I don't ever remember seeing. I don't know.
Starting a fist fight with a rapper rather than in a shootout
There's a lot of shit we don't see, so.
His feud with Quando Rondo started on the internet rather than in the streets, off the back of a back and forth with Quando's friend and label mate NBA YoungBoy, who seemingly didn't want to proceed with a collaboration with King Von. This was
bro, from like the Reddit stories and shit, bro. The Reddit stories say that Durk wasn't even in O Block like that. Like he wasn't even hanging around. He was more Lamron than he was Parkway. Like he wasn't even hanging around with Parkway niggas. So that's why I said maybe. But because like I ain't gonna lie, when I saw the Reddit comments and shit, I'm thinking, have I ever seen Durk in O Block? We've never seen Durk in O Block. I've never seen it. So it's like, I don't know. So it's like, maybe shit, I don't know.
Followed by a petty back and forth where Von took pictures with the mother of YoungBoy's child.
Yeah,
Von essentially died over nothing more than an internet back and forth with a rapper, turned fight, turned self-defense shootout. And in the end, he was no longer here to face the music for the murders that he'd done and arranged. But after King Von died, Lil Durk was still running free. And interestingly, after Von's death, Durk was able to make a maneuver and have the attempted murder and armed robbery charges he caught with Von miraculously dropped. The sudden and tragic death of King Von meant that Lil Durk had a second chance to escape the cycle of violence and focus on his music career. But despite his promising rap career, it would seem that the death of his evil twin, King Von, consumed Lil Durk. And in the midst of the killing of one of Chicago's most dangerous rappers, who seemingly always got revenge for any of his friends that were killed, a dark trend would emerge, where fans would goad Lil Durk, begging him to get revenge or slide for Von, with rival rappers like 6ix9ine even mocking Durk openly and asking why he hasn't avenged his friend, ultimately showing off the infamous text that says slide for Von in blood in the music video of his song D-Name, and rapping that his friend got shot and he just made music about it, taunting Durk, telling him to get a gun and go and get some get back, and saying that he knew he wouldn't ride out and get revenge for his friend on his own. Clearly, all of this trolling struck a nerve with Lil Durk, and not only did Durk lose Von, but over the years, he's lost over 30 friends to street violence, up to the point where fans have speculated that he's actually cursed, as I broke down in another video on the topic. And not only did Lil Durk lose Von in 2020, but in 2021, his beloved blood brother DThang was also murdered at a Chicago nightclub in another incident that was seemingly gang-related. Now, just being completely honest, I can't imagine being in that situation. I haven't lost a friend or relative to murder the same way that Durk has, and who knows how the average person would react under this sort of pressure and grief. But ultimately, Lil Durk should have focused on his music career, the success that he was having, and continuing to provide for his family and the people who relied on him. But it would seem that his apparent desire to slide and get revenge was actually stronger than his desire to chase money, success, and security for his loved ones. As he famously rapped on the song Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy with Babyface Ray, he would rather get revenge than get millions. And he would seemingly know his fate.
That I'd rather get revenge than get millions.
Long before the murders happened, when he rapped on his song Redman, that when people ask him where he think he'll be in 10 years, he replies, in federal custody.
Amazing song, by the way.
Ultimately, 2 years after Lil Pab was murdered, the indictment would claim in black and white that this murder was allegedly a get back for the killing of King Von. But this wasn't a surprise to anyone who'd been paying attention, as within months of the murder of Lil Pab, Lil Durk and others close to him would begin to claim openly in music and on podcasts that Lil Durk had indeed slid for Von.
I thought somebody was knocking at the door. That's the fucking video.
Oh, they did something. Oh, slide for him, slide for him. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Slide for Von, right? Yeah.
You talking about? By the slide for Von comments. I don't know if people still say it.
Chad, that nigga Durk looking at Von like that nigga Durk looking at act like he finna kill him. Nigga said, "What you just say to me?" Y'all see him, bro?
They say you can't say that no more.
Why? Oh yeah, because of no. For
some reason I just don't see comments no more. Some odd reason.
This is creepy. Is this shit not weird?
I don't know. Might be the water.
You can't say that no more.
Oh, because of FBG Cash? Oh.
Yeah, though. We different in the rack.
Nah, because Lil Pop.
I feel like you so right.
That's what the act realized.
Never so
not for real.
He got beat up too. Yeah. He not condoning more violence. What? Everybody you telling me about don't matter.
Like, he seemed pissed at that response right there, though.
But it wasn't just interviews. In fact, just 4 months after the murder, Lil Durk and his OTF rap collective and label released a project titled Loyal Bros 2.
Phenomenal project, by the way.
While many people missed it at the time, this entire project was wall-to-wall with jaw-dropping self-incrimination. Not just from...
Alright, let me see if it's... I'll be the judge of that. Go drop a bag and get a nigga buried. Little bro sends shots all through your car. That switch bound to get you. We flying to get you. They know that we did it.
From Durk, but his friends and label mates.
We do hits regardless. What did DD say?
Jaw-dropping self-incrimination.
We do hits regardless. Lil bro and them stood on the business. We coming to get you. We leave you in public.
Not just from Durk, but his friends and label mates. In fact, when the indictment dropped, reports would soon begin to spread of an unidentified co-conspirator who had allegedly organized this murder and offered lucrative music opportunities to the other suspects. It could very well be the case that Lil Durk had actually offered his subordinates verses and feature opportunities in exchange for carrying out real murders. Unfortunately now, Lil Durk is charged with murder for hire in the case of Lil Pab, but the dark truth is, this very well may just be the tip of the iceberg. And ever since the paperwork dropped, there's been intense speculation as to whether this
Lil Durk, aka Blood, aka Mustafa Abdul Malik. Did I pronounce it right, chat? Mustafa Abdul Malik or Malak? Malak, right?
was a one-off incident, or had Durk actually spent several years using his power, status, and money to have numerous enemies murdered before rapping about it in front of the whole world for everyone to hear?
The fact is, there's a total of 6 high-profile murders that Lil Durk is rumored to have orchestrated.
So today, we're going to be taking a closer look at those cases to try and work out once and for all whether Lil Durk was really the mastermind behind this series of gruesome murders.
Does that not sound federal though, Trap Lil Ross? We're gonna take a deeper dive into these cases to really see if he did it. Like what? Yo, Trap Lil Ross is fucking hilarious. I'm sorry.
I'm from Chicago, Illinois, man. Lil Durk, Inglewood area, whole city, man. I'm saying we out here rapping, doing our thing. I got a big buzz, man, trying to stay tuned, get rich. I'm just a young 17 years old.
Tell me a little bit about Inglewood.
You know, of now, with all the murders and all that happening right now.
I mean, Newski. They left his ass right here.
One of the other interviews, you said that your dad was caught with like $8 million, 6 bricks.
Yeah. That's why I want to be just like him.
So, Durk Banks, also known as Lil Durk.
This is a movie.
It brings me great honor and pleasure as the mayor of the village of Broadview to present this key.
What made you want to sign him?
Monster.
You got a name.
King Von, V-O-N.
King Von. K-I-N-G. What made you want to sign King Von?
Because he got a whole story behind it.
And so on behalf of the village of Broadview, we are honored to present this key to the city, to Durk Banks Neighborhood Heroes. This key is a token of our appreciation for your collaboration and partnership.
On the road again, back on the road again. We catch you, you do.
This is like a movie. Trap Lil Ross got good at editing.
Shooting outside of the varsity will move forward today. Lil Durk appeared in court where a judge ruled there was enough evidence for him to go to trial.
I have nothing to add. Duck was a threat, gang, with the music, for real, for real. He's gonna be a problem inside this industry for us. We gonna be forced to hit it. We gonna be forced.
4 men in 2 different vehicles came down Oak Street, stopped right here in the middle, and started firing.
That's a Chicago rapper, man, by the name of FBG Duck. Shot.
No, they got 63rd. Some dirty.
If we into it for real, like. Not no faking to it. If we into it, I don't know. Cause they be thinking, yeah, it's a lot of faking to it going on. But if we into it, you say we into it, you better, I swear to God.
Dante Banks was killed when he was shot in the head. Banks is the older brother of locally known rapper Lil Durk.
So we thank you and we honor you and we appreciate you being in the village of Broadview, and here's your key.
Durk was embroiled in some eternal, I need you off of this earth beef. That's different.
Because he what?
Of course. Not only that, he needed the guys who killed his brother off this earth.
Because I forgave my brother killer, but you know, I understand. What y'all going through. And I hope y'all make it out. I hope y'all make it the out, man.
Well-known Chicago area rapper was killed in a drive-by shooting early this morning. He raps under the name FBG Cash.
Sheriff's deputies pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV.
Chicago rapper Lil Durk could be linked to a second murder-for-hire plot. Images of the gunman who shot and killed Stefon Mack in 2022. Grammy Award-winning Chicago rapper Lil Durk is facing new charges in a murder-for-hire plot.
I read. I don't know. Might be the water.
You better have your gun for me. Better have your gun for boom. Better have your gun for C. You don't believe me, you gon' see. You gon' end up by that tree.
Know that we did it.
If he is convicted, Durk could spend the rest of his life in prison.
I ain't gonna lie, Tad. I'm locked in. Are y'all locked in? I'm locked in.
Banks was born on October the 19th, 1992. According to his mother, LaShonda Woodard, who has written a memoir about her life, Durk, or Tay as his mother called him, shorthand for Devontae, was a problem child from early on who just couldn't stay still and was always getting into trouble. Durk and his two older siblings, his big brother Booney, better known as OTF DThang, and his big sister, Tuta, were not planned children, but rather, as his mother explains in her memoir, she would barely even know Durk's father when she would get pregnant unexpectedly with her oldest child, DThang, while they were both still in high school. And even after that, while Durk's father, Dante Banks, aka Big Durk, would help to provide for her and the kids, they were never officially together as a couple, even as she kept becoming pregnant due to failing to use contraception. And to make matters harder,
damn, that's crazy.
Big Durk would end up getting locked up on serious charges when Lil Durk was only about 7 months old, as he would get busted for a major drug dealing operation in 1993, allegedly operating under the Gangster Disciple Nation, or GDN, and even having ties to the infamous founder of the gang himself, Mr. Larry Hoover, whom Big Durk would allegedly refuse to snitch on, ultimately winding up getting himself a life sentence that he would serve for over 2 decades, before successfully appealing his sentence and getting released in 2019, something which I discussed
never told. Shit. I feel like Durk is so Snitch. Shit.
Detail in a deep dive video about the man, which
no, nigga, y'all niggas aren't listening. No, DThang didn't get his mom's pregnant. What the fuck? Are y'all dumb? Are y'all slow? Gang, are y'all slow? Gang. The nigga said that his mom didn't really know his dad that well, like they weren't married or nothing. But she got pregnant because she failed to take birth control pills.
You can go and watch if you want the full story on Big Durk. But anyway, Lil Durk and his family would spend his first years living in his grandmother's house and his mother's childhood home in the infamous Inglewood neighborhood, an address that would later become famous, being the name of his 7th studio album, the 7220 South Halsted Street. The family would get another addition in 1997 when Durk's mother gave birth to his younger sister, Tania. Sometime after that, the family would move to a Section 8 3-bedroom house on Latham Street. As a young schoolboy, Lil Durk would attend the Guggenheim Elementary School, located on 72nd and Morgan, a school which district officials would call the worst elementary school in Illinois in 2012 when the school was eventually closed due to its poor performance. According to his mother, Durk was so out of control as a child that she literally couldn't work because of how often she would be.
The house I grew up in, you know what I'm saying, my grandma's house. This is where it all started at, you know what I'm saying? Just the rap, the whole stop going to school. That's what we basically hopped out the streets when we came in. We grew up in a 3-bedroom house, really 2. My grandma kept
it did end. I know it did.
DThang had the couch. I had the floor in the back. It just came from nothing, you know what I'm saying? It came from one house, like 10 people. Even days the lights was off. Nah, the worst memories in the motherfucker, not eating shit. That's the worst you can go.
That's my telegram.
Really survive enough rice and toast, like that. Starve, not eating at night.
I don't know, 416. Let me lock in, bro. Let me finish this shit.
This house gave me intelligence, you know what I'm saying?
But it don't reach that. I'm reading, nigga.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody won't think about it make it out of here.
During his adolescence, Durk would become affiliated with 2 gangs from his neighborhood in Inglewood, Lamron and D-Town. Lamron would rep the streets between 62nd and 65th, with their main corner being on 64th and Normal Avenue. The name of the set, Lamron, in fact being normal, spelled backwards. But many members of Lamron would also rep the name OTF, which is now known to mean Only the Family. But OTF might not have always referred to Only the Family, as Durk's label is now known, because some have suggested that it actually originally stood for Only Trey Folks, a reference.
What? So y'all believe that? I ain't gonna lie, that's some pretty smart shit, because they definitely fool me if that shit real.
To the membership of the gang being made up exclusively of black
Only
disciples.
Trey folks?
A historic Chicago gang whose hand sign depicts them making a 3, or the Treys. A hand sign that was famously depicted on fellow BD drill rapper Chief Keef's Bang 3 mixtape. The first mentions of this OTF name on Facebook appear to be from around 2010, which is likely why the feds are now also tracing OTF's founding back to that specific year. D-Town, on the other hand, was located directly north of Lamron, their main streets being 59th and 61st. These 2 sets were seemingly extremely close to each other, and they would both rep the number 300, with 3, as I've already mentioned, being an important number for the BDs or Black Disciples that both sets were indeed affiliated with. Together, the 2 sets would go under the umbrella name DTLR 600, the number 600 coming from literally adding the 2 300s together. Lamron and D-Town would also be very close with several other majority BD sets from the south side of Chicago, such as the now infamous Wick City, aka O-Block, located in the notorious Parkway Gardens housing project.
It'd be crazy watching this Chicago shit, because it's like all these blocks is so close to each other and shit. You feel me? Is that not kind of crazy?
For rappers like Chief Keef and King Von, as well as TYMB, Blackgate, a crew known particularly for the rapper SD from Chief Keef's Glory Boys, Dipset, aka Front Street, known best for the late rapper Fredo Santana, Dog Pound, which is Durk's big brother DThang's gang set, as can be seen in this massive chain that he had made in the honor of the 72nd Street that the set hails from. There's also AMG, also known as Mac Block, or The Avenue, aka The Ave, there's Lowlife, and the much more famous 600 set from the Washington Park neighborhood, known for rappers like E-Day, Rondo No. 9, and the late LA Capone. Lamron and DThang were also close with a set called Bang Bang Gang, or BBG, as can be seen from this picture in 2010, where Durk himself is portrayed together with this set's name, or in this 2010 music video, where Durk and Lil Reese shout out the set. In fact, one of the main members of Durk's OTF crew, Booney Mo, is allegedly from this majority black P-Stone set that reps 79th Street, particularly 79th and Damon, sometimes going by the name 227, as well as an older name, Terror Dome. This set would gain an infamous reputation in the 2010s due to their long war with a GD set called Killer Ward, which in 2015 led to a highly publicized murder of a 9-year-old boy named Tyshawn Lee, whose father was an alleged member of the Killer Ward gang. Killer Ward is interestingly also known for being King Von's original hood before he would move to Parkway Gardens or O Block.
Right now I'm in an area called Killer Ward. This is where I grew up at. I went to grammar school on 6th and Walcott, like kindergarten or 8th grade. That's the area, so this play a big part of my life.
That sounds crazy.
I grew up to being big, gang banging around here.
As Durk was getting increasingly into the street life, he would also begin his high school studies, first attending Percy Julian High School, located in the far south side of Chicago. But due to the long commute, he would soon transfer to the infamous Paul Robeson High School in Inglewood. Another
everybody went there, I heard,
due to its poor performance, and a school which many legendary people from the Chicago drill scene would attend in the early 2010s, around the same time as Durk, including people like the late rapper Lil Jojo, who was from the Brick Squad set from 69th and Eggleston.
Damn, that's probably why they all beefing. They all went to that same fucking school. What the fuck? Yeah, that's probably why they beefing, nigga.
Their hood being located right next to that school, and this set having had a long-lasting beef with Lamron, DThang, and other BD majority sets from around Englewood. The rapper famous Dex also attended Robeson, Dex being from a GD set called MOE, located in a large GD stronghold, a neighborhood referred to as No Love City, which would also beef heavily with Lamron and DThang. The late rapper Lil Mister would also attend Robeson, even getting an opportunity to perform his drill anthems at the school. Lil Mister was from a set called Wooga World on 75th and Stewart, the set being very closely affiliated with Brick Squad and therefore also rivals to Lamron and DThang. As Durk's mother would recall in her memoir, Robeson had numerous rival gangs that would bring far more problems to Lil Durk's young life. And over time, he and his friends would begin to get into increasingly violent encounters with the gangs that they didn't get along with. Eventually,
Yo, Chad, that's just crazy to me. Like, imagine seeing the ops that want to kill you at school every day. That sounds fucking crazy.
These beefs and schoolyard fights would escalate into shootings and killings, with one of the first major losses on Durk's side being a 17-year-old called Lil Mo. Real name Terrence Hollins, he would be gunned down in Robe's hood in July of 2009, and according to online rumors, Mo was killed by a member of No Love City called Tone Bone, but the facts regarding this case remain vague. In 2020, rapper Brick Youngster would rap in his song Let's Talk Part 2.
Let's talk about loyalty. Vaughn homies killed Lil Mo and you want war with me? Oh shit.
OTF diss that Lil Mo was actually killed by friends of King Von, but it's not clear what friends he's specifically referring to. But in any case, Mo's death was clearly a major turning point for Lamron and DThang, and they would pay tribute to him religiously. Durk, who had been getting into rapping around this time, would even make a tribute song to his fallen friend, this seemingly being one of the first of his old songs that can still be found on the internet. With Durk rapping to the classic beat from Lil Wayne and Gucci Mane's song We Be Steady Mobbin', Durk was clearly influenced by Lil Wayne's rapping style, and he was also seemingly into freestyle all of his lyrics on the spot. Now, the song is a far cry from the Durk drill anthems that he would produce just a few years later, but by its subject matter, the song was quite clearly a precursor to drill music as we know it today, as Durk would not only shout out other BD sets, such as Dog Pound and the Ave, but he would also diss numerous rival sets, including No Love City, Brick Squad, and somewhat surprisingly, also a set called Brick City, who were an older generation from the same hood as 600, a group of OTF allies from Washington Park, who would not long after become very close with Lamron and particularly Lil Durk personally. Similar set repping can actually be heard in Durk's other alleged 2009 song called My Partner Them, this song being a remix of the Atlanta rap crew Rich Kid's 2009 song My Partner Them. And again, Durk can be heard shouting.
Bro, how do he be finding these? How does this nigga be finding these shits, bro?
Out sets like Lamron, DThang, Young Money, and Teradome, amongst others, as well as his friends like Lil Varney from Lamron. Also in 2009 is when Durk would begin to get in trouble with the law. In November, he would be arrested for vehicular hijacking. According to the police reports, an unknown person would first try and rob a woman's car by force, and as the police would later find the car in traffic near DThang's hood, 2 men would exit the car and attempt to escape. But they would be caught. One of these men turned out to be a 17-year-old Lil Durk. According to the police, while in custody, either Durk or the other man would freely state that he had seen the car running for about 20 minutes with no one inside, so he decided to take it. However, despite this admission, it doesn't appear that Durk ever received any legal consequences from this incident. But then, only a month later in December, Durk would again be arrested, this time for criminal trespassing, as he was hanging out with 3 other people inside of a laundromat in Dog Pound's hood on 72nd and Halsted. And interestingly, Durk's gang affiliation in the arrest report would be marked incorrectly as gangster disciple, perhaps due to his father's affiliation with the gang being widely known amongst the...
That's so sad, Chad. They label him as a gang member and they don't even know where he bang if he did bang. That just lets you know how police is literally dick riders, nigga. How the fuck you gonna list him as something that he not, for one? Then for two, you're automatically listing him as a gang member just because he stays in a specific area or some shit. That's fucked up. He wasn't even no GD. They just dick riding. Now, chat, I don't give a fuck what y'all say. That nigga Durk is not a thug, bro.
Chicago Police Department. But anyway, coming into 2010, Durk was now a bona fide gang member, but he was also beginning to really focus on his rap career. And in April, he would drop his first ever music video for a song that was first titled Wasted Freestyle, rapping on the beat from Gucci Mane's classic song Wasted. However, for some reason, that same channel would then release the same music video again a few weeks later, but this time with the title Lamron Wasted. But these two are the same song. The song was stylistically very similar to Durk's earlier songs, as he was still freestyling his lyrics whilst using the Lil Wayne style auto-tune delivery. And once again, much of the song was about him shouting out the numerous other sets and members in his area, including Teradome, Young Money, his friends Lil Varney, Booney Mo, and Tracy Mo, as well as Wick City and Blackgate, among many others. According to Durk's mother, this song would be an instant hit in Chicago, motivating Durk to focus on rap and take it seriously. And only about a month later, it was followed by another music video for a song titled L's. But this time, also the Grim Reaper of Chirac himself, Lil Reese, would be in the mix, somehow having a flow and lyrics that were light years ahead of his more recent output, which was not lost on fans of Chicago drill when they would run into this video years later. Now, Durk would seemingly put much more effort into this song, finally resulting to actually writing down and thinking about his lyrics rather than simply freestyling. And the beat of the song was also much darker than his earlier tracks, foreshadowing the formation of the drill sound that was soon to follow and become huge. However, for whatever reason, he would not drop any more music during 2010, but coming into 2011, he would truly get into his bag, dropping numerous songs and music videos, including Sneak Diss in January, I'm a Hitter in March, which would help Durk land a radio interview on University of Chicago's WHPK 88.5.
Who you riding harder today, Durk or Drake? Bro, what? Bro, did this internet go out again? Heck, y'all hear me? My shit's in the yellow. We should be good. So y'all can hear me? So can y'all hear me? Fuck. Let me refresh. I'm gonna refresh. We good? Alright, bet. Alright, bet. Did it blank out again or am I tweaking? Cause my shit stopped for a little minute. My shit ain't F at all. Let me just check. Alright, we good. Bro, we good.
Rob Who with Lil Reese that dropped in May, a track 227K in June, which would be a diss song towards their old friends, the BBG, aka Teradome, who they apparently had a falling out with, seemingly allying with Teradome's enemy, the Killer Ward, instead. Another track called Too Many Say Day Drillin' with Lil Reese was posted on YouTube by none other than Chief Keef, who was also beginning to get a major buzz in the city for his music around this time as well. He would then drop the I'm a Boss freestyle in October, which would use the legendary beat from Meek Mill's song by the same name. In August, Durk would also release his first mixtape, titled after his song I'm a Hitter, hosted by DJ Twin. Durk's rap career would truly begin to flourish during 2011, at the same time as the entire Chicago drill scene was beginning to pop off in the city, with artists like King Louie, Chief Keef, E-Day, S-Dot, FBG Duck, Bo Deal, Lil Reese, and Lil Durk leading the charge. But 2011 wasn't only good times for Durk, as many developments would be going down in the streets, and in July, he would end up losing a person that was not only important to him, but also the entirety of the D-Town set, as an 18-year-old Tay-Ski, or Tay-Tay, real name Davonte Childress, was gunned down in D-Town's hood. Like Lil Mo on Lamron's side, Tay-Ski would become one of the first major losses for DThang, and they would be so impacted by his passing, they would rename their hood DThang, also known as TTE, which also means Threats to Everybody, or DThang Entertainment. In his mixtape I'm a Hitter that was released about a month after Taysky's death, Durk himself would have a tribute song towards him titled
I'm streaming
Taysky.
on singular. What the fuck? Check, y'all hear me? Stream stuttering is good. Bro, is the stream really tripping or no? Bro, I got business fiber that's 2,000 up, 2,000 down. If y'all tell me that my shit's tripping, I promise you AT&T is not gonna, they're gonna hear it from me. It's good. Bro, chat, look at my other computer, dead ass. This is my other computer. That's how I know I'm lagging. Look at my shit. Looks like you're not connected. Look. Look, you see it, right? Look. That's why I feel like my shit tripping. Like my Discord call fucking up and shit. Y'all hear that? Y'all can hear me, chat? We good? Alright. Alright. Chat, are y'all, let me check. Let's see. Chat, y'all sure we good? I bet. Fuck, man.
Crazy. Interestingly, unlike many other murders in Chicago, this one would eventually actually be solved, and two people would end up being charged and found guilty: Antoine Reynolds and Marlon Boyce, both alleged members of a GD set called Shields, hailing from 57th and Shields. After Tay's murder, Lamron and DThang would understandably be thirsty for revenge, and they would allegedly get that revenge the following year, when a member of the Shields named Travis Henry was shot and killed while sitting in his car in the Shields hood. Just like DThang, Shields would pay tribute to their fallen friend by renaming their hood Travis World, whilst also claiming to be TTEK, or DThang Killers. It would take 2 years for the police to finally find a suspect, but in 2014 they would charge a man for the murder of Travis. This man being none other than OTF DD, real name DeAndre Wilson, who was already back then one of Lil Durk's closest friends. However, by 2023, after almost a decade of fighting these charges, OTF DD would end up beating the case and walking away a free man. But back to 2011, Durk would find himself in trouble with the law once again, when he would be arrested in October for an aggravated UUW, or unlawful use of a weapon, as he was caught trying to hide his gun and flee from the police. However, the most interesting part about this arrest is the fact that the police were already looking for Durk due to an investigative alert with probable cause to arrest. Years later, rumors would begin to circulate online that the reason why not only Durk, but also
Durk was arrested October 9, 2011. Reese was arrested 12 days later, October 21st, 2011, for the same charge. What was the charge?
Also Lil Reese were wanted during this time was due to a shooting in late August 2011 where 4 teens had gotten shot in Woodlawn.
Wait, 4 niggas got hit up and it was Durk and Reese? What? Hold on.
More specifically, in the hood of the infamous set.
I know about that one. Y'all knew about that? I know about that.
City. Fortunately, nobody would die in the shooting, although some of the victims would reportedly be taken to hospital in critical condition. Interestingly, the Grim Reaper himself, Lil Reese, would later state in a DJU interview how he had previously shot someone who had been on the same interview couch, with many fans thinking that Reese was talking about this very case and specifically referring to a well-known Jaro City member and infamous internet motormouth FBG Butter, who had indeed been on DJU's couch shortly before Lil Reese's interview.
I said you had a lot of goof on this couch. I've been watching lately.
Goof like who?
I done seen on this trying to pop before.
You did what?
Butter would then return to DJU and seemingly admit.
See, chat, look, I ain't gonna lie. Like, you gotta understand, chat, like, sometimes it don't be Trap Lil Ross, bro. Like, you feel me? Sometimes it be these niggas. For real.
He was indeed one of the victims, whilst even providing possibly a motive for the shooting.
We op shopping. We go on 61st, we catch Lil Durk and Lil Reese inside the store. They scared as hell. But I ain't even know who Lil Reese and Durk was on folks' grade, right? Tutu get on folks' grade. Tutu coming at cheat. Cause we walked past them. Tutu double back. He what? He on hookah. Oh, folks grade in that scared as hell.
Why they say it like that?
Yo, they boy, what's up, y'all? With that? On took a little beat, them get right on it. Hey, y'all with that? He with what, boy? Lil Reese, you getting that with what?
In addition to him saying we done had some goof on the couch, he was like, yeah, I popped one of these that's been on the couch. He ain't putting no names on it, so I guess if the shoe fit, wear it, huh?
The shoe don't fit over here, gang.
But whatever the case may be,
He lying, Jack. Your brother's so stupid, bro. He lying, bro. Yo, Chad, look at his face when he said that shit. Look.
So I guess if the shoe fit, wear it, huh?
The shoe don't fit over here, gang.
Look, he's smiling and shit. He cap. He's so cap, nigga. So cap.
But whatever the case may be, Durk would reportedly remain locked up for 3 months, during which time his girlfriend Nicole would give birth to his oldest son, Angelo, in November. Then, at the beginning of 2012, Durk would get back out and hit the streets running, dropping the song Off the Shits with Lil Reese in January 2012, along with a music video filmed by the legendary Chicago cameraman DThang. Meanwhile, Lil Durk's friend Chief Keef's career was also heating up, dropping his music video for a song called 300 also in January, which would begin to make major noise in Chicago.
Classic.
From there, soon Chief Keef would be performing for a packed-out crowd in the legendary nightclub located in Markham in the far south side suburbs of Chicago, with several Lamron members right by his side, including guys like Lil Reese, Ball Out, and Lil Durk himself. Chief Keef would also make a cameo on Lil Durk's music video for the song Jack Boy, released in early March, while Durk had already been present during Keef's 2011 music video for his song Bang. Now, the world didn't know it yet, but the Chicago drill scene was about to go worldwide, as the pressure in this buzzing music scene was building and would eventually explode, influencing the entirety of hip-hop at large. On March the 11th, the blow-up, or should I say glow-up, would finally happen, as Chief Keef would drop Drill's first nationwide hit, the iconic track I Don't Like, together with a music video.
Chat, listen, I understand some of y'all were born in 2011, but let me tell y'all something. This track changed the entire world, nigga. And I lived through it. On God, I did. I was like, yo, when this track dropped, I was like 15, 16. And nigga, we was bumping. No, I was probably like 16. Nigga, we was bumping this shit, nigga. Like, I ain't gonna lie, chat. On the way to school, everything, like, nigga, this is the hot thing. Yo, chat, fuck billboards, fuck all the sales and all the other shit niggas got going on. This song right here, chat, this song right here was #1 in the world. It was. Like 16. Chat, when did the song drop? No, actually, when did the song drop? I'll give you an actual date. When did the song drop? Now, this song dropped before the music video, but you feel me? Let me just see. 12 years ago. Chat, I'm 27. So 12 years ago, I'm 15, nigga. Yeah, I was 15, nigga. Chat, I was 15 when this shit came out, nigga. I was 15, nigga. You feel me? Nigga, what? Nigga, this song was #1. Nigga, we used to go to school, this shit, bumping this shit. These nigga looked at me wrong. I used to square up with him. Bro. Chat, do your homework. I'm telling you, man.
Video where Keef and his buddies, including Lamron members Lil Reese and Ball Out, could be seen wildly dancing to the booming beat produced by Young Chop. Building on the success of I Don't Like, Durk would drop a major hit later in March himself, the drill classic Hell's Anthem, another auto-tuned banger dedicated to the Lamron set. Durk, together with the likes of Chief Keef and Lil Reese, were now the main faces of the new Chicago drill scene, and if you would have seen the potential in Durk at the time, you would have truly gotten yourself a bargain deal for a feature, price tag at this time being just $1,000. Then, in late April, Durk and Reese would both make a major announcement when it was revealed that they would both be signing to Def Jam, one of hip-hop's most historically significant record labels. And this was even before Chief Keef would sign his historic $6 million deal with Interscope. But unfortunately, just as Durk's career was about to take off, he would have to go back to jail to finish his sentence for the UUW, keeping him out of the picture for several months, whilst his friends and family were trying to keep his buzz going. Durk would get out in July, this time hitting the streets with a new look and a new hunger, which would culminate in December with his third mixtape, Life Ain't No Joke, featuring big names in the rap game like French Montana, Soulja Boy, and Yo Gotti. However, it would be Durk's next major move that would truly make him a household name, as in May 2013, he would drop the song This Ain't What You Want, together with his most professional-looking music video.
Classic. Chat, this is another classic. Yo, every time, chat, we see a classic, just type classic. This is a classic.
Until that point, probably enabled by Def Jam's big production budgets. The music video included cameos from numerous people who would later become infamous in the drill scene, including the 600 rapper Rondo No. 9, who would ultimately end up killing an innocent livery driver the following year, receiving a 39-year sentence, and, bizarrely, Mubu Crump, nicknamed the Chirac scorekeeper by DJ Academics, who would eventually fall out with Durk and his OTF crew before getting killed in 2018, as well as THF Bezu from the THF 46 set, who would be arrested for a murder in 2014, but ultimately ended up beating the charges, going on to release the 2018 street hit, Beat Dat Body, together with another body beater, King Von, who himself at that time had just successfully beaten his own murder charges. But anyway, back to 2013, and unfortunately for Durk, once again, right as his career was about to blow to that next level, he would get in trouble with the law once again, as he was arrested for another UUW in June, after police would catch him red-handed with a stolen Glock, while the local arrested for another UUW in June, after police would catch him
tossed a blue steel Glock 17 with 14 live rounds in it into parked and said vehicle passenger window.
Handed with a stolen Glock, while the local news would report on him as a rapper, quote, associated with Chief Keef. That says a lot about where the kind of discourse around Chicago don't do that. Regardless, Durk would catch a lucky break, as his friend would actually end up signing an affidavit claiming that the gun was actually his, ultimately getting Durk off the hook. But in the meantime, there was another controversy brewing. While Durk would be released on bail later in June, he would almost immediately get into an online beef with none other than Chief Keef himself, as Durk's OTF affiliate, Chief Wook, would begin tweeting apparent disses towards Keef, accusing him of not being a stand-up friend and refusing to help somebody that needed bail money, despite having signed a $6 million record deal. Durk would actually retweet his friend's posts, whilst also letting his own feelings be known, saying how he's still in the hood and not in the rich suburbs.
I'm on 64th and Normal tweeting. He said he had a 64th and Normal tweeting, not in the woods. Damn.
Outside of Chicago like Keef was at the time, as well as directly stating how it was F Chief Keef's GBE crew. Naturally, fans at the time would think that the beef was about Durk's bail, which had been 10% of $100,000, an amount that just so happened to be the exact same amount that Keef would post his new four-wheeler costed. These posts actually at the time being seen as subliminal disses towards Lil.
Bought a $10,000 for a four-wheeler and what? Nah, this nigga Sosa was provoking, chat. Nah, he's provoking. He's provoking.
Durk. However, as 600 member K Capone would later explain, the person asking for bail actually would have been an O-Block member called Trey 5.
They came to him about bonding out 5. They came to him about bonding out one of the guys, and Sosa was like, you know, he not spinning them, but he just telling them like, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Trey 5 was from O-Block. He was fighting a charge. He had bond. I think his bond was like $10K, $7,500 or something they was trying to get from So. And Sosa had been, I guess, to them, spinning them about you know what I'm saying? Like whatever bond money or whatever they was gonna do for 5, they wanted from Sosa. They felt like Sosa was spending them. So they felt like they gave him the.
So y'all think Sosa was spending them? He probably was. Chad, let's be honest, he probably was. Sosa don't get no fuck.
Enough time to act on what the situation or whatever, and then once they felt like he was just gonna keep spending them or lying to him, they felt like they had enough time where they felt like they had enough aggression built up from the situation to just act, you know.
But at the time, it seemed that this beef was squashed as soon as it had started, with Lil Durk saying during an interview that it was nothing but some words and that the two groups still had love for each other.
A lot of people have been tweeting me to ask you about your relationship with Chief Keef because of things that have been going back and forth. What is the status of that right now?
It was just a little bit of words. It ain't nothing major though.
Yeah, ain't nothing major?
Nah, ain't nothing major.
It ain't nothing that's gonna grow or?
Nah.
Have y'all communicated since then? Have y'all?
Yeah, we had a little few words to be on some, man. We cooling right now, so.
Yeah.
So I respected that. We respect each other.
He needs to try to be professional. I respect it.
You know how Twitter is. You know, Twitter gonna take everything the wrong way.
Ain't Twitter a trip?
Meanwhile, Lil Durk's Lamron
Can't believe Butter knocked Chief Keef out. I don't believe that
was
shit.
Getting some questionable publicity in the local media, as the Chicago Sun-Times would publish a scathing cover story about the gang in November 2013, calling the Sat Lamron Englewood's public enemy #1. And the article would go in depth on Lamron's alleged illegal activities, which according to police included not only shootings and murders, but also drug sales, and even a large counterfeiting ring that produced fake driving licenses. However, at this point in time, the article was only focusing on Chief Keef's connection to the set, and it wouldn't mention Lil Durk at all. Once again, just showing that difference in fame between these two at that point in time. Also in November, Durk would experience another major loss when his good friend Pluto, real name Patrick Walker, would lose his life under strange circumstances, reportedly getting shot by a friend from the TYMB set whilst out driving in his car. The incident allegedly being an accident, but one that...
I didn't even know they caught Pluto's killer. He was TYMB, the man who killed Pluto. He was charged but beat the case. He still honors Pluto. He killed his own homie? He killed his own homie on accident?
by a friend from the TYMB set whilst out driving in his car. The incident allegedly being an accident, but one that would eventually sour the relationship between Lamron and TYMB, with Durk later rapping in his song titled Crossroads how Pluto would still be alive.
It was a car crash? Bro, an accident? How? How does that happen? And I thought they beefed with TYMB. Pluto would still be alive if he ain't hang with strangers.
If he hadn't been out hanging with the wrong strangers. Behind the scenes though, things between Lil Durk and Chief Keef apparently weren't all good. And in 2014, things would go all the way left.
Now because
some
of
of Chief Keef's old friends from O Block would also get involved in the beef, with several incidents taking place that year. First, in March, there would be a shooting at Chief Keef's manager's house, which allegedly was a robbery that his old friends were involved in. Then in June, Keef would take it to social media, accusing his old friend Boss Top from O Block of breaking into his house while he was in court fighting his own charges, and stealing numerous items, including designer clothes, jewelry, and even his daughter's clothing, earning Boss Top ridiculous nicknames like Broke Top and the Diaper Bandit amongst Chief Keef fans.
I remember that.
Controversial.
I ain't gonna lie, Chow. I was one of those niggas in the comments called him Diaper Bandit. Diaper Boy, oh God, that was me. That was 15-year-old me, oh God.
Commentary would come from a young DJ Academics, who at this point was only just starting his YouTube journey with his War in Chirac series.
It's your boy DJ Academics, and now as the Chirac Civil War wages on,
classic.
Let me get my
classics
in order. Let me see. We have a named Boss Top who was Chief Keef's protege. He was supposed to be the protege savage to Baphomet. Now, I'm not sure why these two fools fell out, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was over maybe some Reggie, maybe some sneakers. And you know my favorite reason for start beefing in Chirac, sneak dissing. Or it might have been over apparently might have been over some song titles or something to do with another named OD who died, who influenced the whole name of Block, aka O Block. Allegedly, Boss Top and his robbed Chief Keef and another GB member called Capo for their chains, including this notable Jesus piece that Capo owns. They stole KK, which KK is his daughter's little baby. They stole her baby clothes. They stole her baby clothes out of her room. They stole detergent. Whoa. They even stole deodorant. Once you're stealing deodorant, detergent, diapers, and baby clothes, there's something wrong with you. That's how that name Broke Top probably originated. But if you're out here stealing baby apparel, like you at the Baby Gap, it's over.
Now, Durk would seemingly let his stance be known a little while after this in the song 0 to 300, where he raps how he heard that a rapper close to him had gotten their chain stolen, and that they're trying to pay his friend Boss Top to get it back. The beef between Durk and Keef would seemingly continue on and off for years to come, although it would never escalate further and mainly stayed out of the public's view. However, at the time, Durk would also have bigger problems than just rap beef, as in May 2014, his cousin OTF Nunu, aka Newski, who was also Durk's new up-and-coming artist, would be brutally murdered in his car while he was waiting for Durk, who had gone into a nearby store. Durk's ops then would use pictures that were taken of Durk grieving at the scene to mercilessly troll him online. But Durk's problems wouldn't end there, because in November 2014, he would once again get arrested and charged with another UUW, this now being his third gun case.
Unlawful use of a weapon. Chat, unlawful use of a weapon means that you fired it, right? How many times does he keep firing guns while he was
this
big?
arrest would be the very same one where THF Bezu would be arrested and charged for a murder. But it wouldn't only be Bezu who would get slapped with murder charges. By the end of 2014, King Von from O Block was also sat in jail awaiting trial over his murder case concerning a young man named Malcolm Stuckey. And in January 2015, Durk himself would even end up charged with murder too. After
Wait, what?
Malcolm Stuckey. And in January
I don't remember all these murders on Durk, do y'all? Lil Durk was charged for the 2013 murder of a 32-year-old innocent woman who was killed in a shooting after Durk was found with a murder weapon back in 2014 when him and Zoo got locked up. This case was dropped, so he most likely didn't do it and just had the dirty stick. Damn.
January 2015, Durk himself would even end up charged with murder too, after one of the guns found during their arrest would be matched to a 2013 murder of an innocent woman named Shanida Lawrence, who was shot whilst attending a gathering in Harris Memorial Park following a funeral of a family member, this park being near the hood of one of Lamron's oldest ops, the Brick Squad. However, the murder charge would eventually end up getting dropped, and even with Durk seemingly admitting ownership of the guns, where he dropped the legendary one-liner, "I got those pipes, cause MFs always be trying to take my bands." He would seemingly also get away scot-free with the UUW charges, but while Durk had yet again dodged a major bullet that could have ended his career, that career would actually hit somewhat of a rough patch during these years that followed the meteoric rise of the Chicago drill scene, as Durk would seemingly go through a long period where he would struggle to actually find his sound and get motion in music. His time at Def Jam would arguably lead to some not so successful experimentation.
You wanna know why I'm seeing it though, shots? It's because niggas ain't praised Durk like Vaughn. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it a stack. 15-year-old me during the primetime drill era, I would have thought Chief Keef was the real nigga who was patching shit up, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, you feel me? I ain't gonna lie to you, chat, bro. Nigga, whenever JoJo passed, nigga, I ain't gonna lie, nigga, I instantly thought Chief Keef, nigga. I was 15, nigga. We all probably thought the same shit, nigga. I ain't gonna lie, nigga. I thought Chief Keef was a real nigga, nigga. I was like, oh my God, this nigga's getting niggas going. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, yo, chat. During that time era, everybody who beefed with Chief Keef just poof, magically disappeared, nigga. And I ain't gonna lie, nigga, I'm thinking it was Sosa and Reese, nigga. Them niggas said, yo, academics is feeding me that this nigga's the Reaper. I'm like, yeah, I'm starting to see it. You feel me? Yo, chat, everybody back then who beefed with them niggas got poofed. Mysteriously, magic. You feel me? Like, I ain't gonna lie, this shit was crazy, nigga. I'm keeping it 100, nigga. I'm thinking this shit in the academics is telling me was true. That nigga is really the Grim Reaper, nigga. Yo, every time I see the nigga beef with Reese, give him a week. You feel me? Like, I don't know how they was catching them niggas that fast. Oh, God. Oh my God.
Such as his association with French Montana's Coke Boys crew, or his relationship with the Detroit rapper Dej Loaf, which appeared as a publicity move for Durk in an effort to move him away from the drill sound to a more pop-oriented approach to music, as even Durk would seemingly admit in his 2016 song Like Me. But in 2016, Durk would end up parting ways with Def Jam, and while he certainly still had a sizable audience, it was clear that his career trajectory was pointing downwards, and this must have been a moment where Durk was under immense pressure to produce something that would get his name hot again and get his music respected in the streets once again after trying to go pop. And it just so happened that around this time, someone from Durk's old circle would get back into the streets, ready to put his crazy story out there for the whole world to hear.
King Von.
And someone was none other than King Von.
Dave Von Bennett, man. Your Days Are Nice was that, bro. That whole mixtape was crazy.
Lil Durk's most famous OTF signee, King Von, is often described as one of Chicago drill's best storytellers, and he's seen as probably the genre's most authentic voice. Von's real life truly matched the gritty and violent themes that he was rapping about, and in many ways, King Von was a larger-than-life character, a rapper that arguably single-handedly brought the Chicago drill genre back and took gangster rap to daring new heights. But also, unfortunately, in the streets, King Von was a prolific killer, with a rumored 7 murders.
No, he wasn't. Chat, was King Von a prolific killer?
Under his belt, something that I've covered extensively on this channel in my long video, King Von Rap's First Serial Killer. If you want to learn about those murders, go and watch that video, but in this video, I'll be digging much deeper into Von's relationship with Durk. As I mentioned earlier, King Von originally grew up in a hood called Killer Ward, located in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood, but he would later move to the infamous Parkway Gardens, better known as O Block, a hood that's been affiliated with Durk's Lamron set for a long time, when it was still known as Wick City, that meant wild, insane, and crazy, with both sets united by the fact that they rep the 64th Street or 064. Durk and Von's friendship goes back long before Von's rap career, with Reddit rumors.
How long did Durk and Von actually know each other? Probably met each other in 2009, but didn't lock in until 2014.
Suggesting that they actually knew each other since the late 2000s or early 2010s, while Von himself would state in an interview that they'd known each other since Von was in the 6th or 7th grade.
Oh, so they did know each other.
Growing up, same area, hoods, you know how that go.
Do you remember the first time you met him?
The first time, nah. We always be outside, deepest hill, so probably the first time.
Or maybe what age?
Around like 6th grade or something, 7th grade.
But didn't go to the same school?
No, I'm younger.
What we do know for sure is that Durk was known to hang out with members of O Block during the early 2010s, as can be seen from Chief Keef's August 2011 music video for the song Bang, where Durk can be seen with his Lamron partner, Lil Reese, supporting Sosa on his budding rap career. One story that underscores the bond between King Von and Lil Durk is from 2014, when Lil Durk supposedly lent King Von his watch to take to the prom of his then girlfriend at the time, a girl called Mena Red, who's actually the sister of Von's old friend, the rapper Tay 600, nowadays better known as Tay Capone. In an interview with Karen Civil, Durk would recall the story, explaining how Von would get locked up the very next day.
You know, we've been like locked in, like since we was younger. My brother Vernie put us into him, and we just started like locking in real heavy. And then, well, I think we was going on prom. I had gave him my watch to go on prom. He go on prom, he locked up the next day with it. So when he came out, he was like, oh yeah, we locked in. So that was crazy.
According to online rumors, the reason for Von's arrest would be a shooting that Von did on the way to prom with Lil Durk's very good friend Lil Varney. And there's actually a picture of King Von toting a pistol in a white prom suit that still circulates online. Now this was actually a shooting too that Von would later allegedly talk about in his song Don't Wanna Be Me, when he raps how the police would catch him right after the shooting, but Mena Red would seemingly attempt to claim that—
Yo, Chad, carrying a gun to prom sounds fucking crazy. Like, what?
The guns and take the case for them. Durk would then go to his Twitter and tell his followers to write to Von in jail, referring to him as his brother
his
and saying
girl's a
how
real
Von's gonna
girl,
be home
though.
real soon. But that wasn't the case, as Von would eventually get charged with the May 2014 murder of a young man named Malcolm Stuckey. Von would later reveal that while he was locked up for this murder, Durk was one of the few people consistently taking care of him.
When I got locked up for the drama, like Durk was the main one supporting me and helping me. So we got even closer when I was just in jail. Then I got out. He flew me out there with him. Got the rapping. So me and Durk, you know, we like.
Von would eventually beat his charges and get released in December 2017, and Durk would almost immediately take him under his wing and out of the reckless street life that nearly destroyed his life. And soon after, King Von would sign to Lil Durk's OTF collective, and inspired by Durk's success, he too would turn to rap as a means of changing his life.
Before they finish, I'm saying these two artists from Chicago who signed the OTF. So,
okay, so that's Book right
Book
there?
600 and King Von. So,
and they signed to you?
Yeah, actually, they got their own face and name, so they don't need me.
Oh, they don't need you. Oh, they don't need you. So.
Yeah, we off on that.
Durk would waste no time helping Von make his mark on the rap game, bringing him to the popular
shit,
radio
Chad,
show The
for
Breakfast
real.
Club shortly after Von had begun dropping his first songs, with Durk describing him as somebody with a gripping story to tell, perhaps smoothly hinting to his secret past as a 7-time killer in his neighborhood.
King Von, V-O-N,
King Von,
K-I-N-G.
What made you want to sign King Von?
Cause he got a whole story behind him. You know what I'm saying? He from O Block.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That should speak for itself. Nah.
See, Chad, when he says shit like this, it really just seems like Durk just likes killers around him. Like, it didn't look like Durk was really locked in with him since young, you feel me? It's more so he just locked in because he knows that he's the top killer that's an affiliate, you know what I'm saying? That's what it looked like, though, does it not? Or am I tweaking? True, I see what you're saying. Not true. I mean, shit, they might have been locked in since they was younger. I mean, we just don't see it. You know what I'm saying?
But know what I'm saying, he just real. Know what I'm saying, his music, he just real.
Oh yeah, he did say he lent him his watch to go to prom. I do remember that. Yeah.
Yes, with him. Know what I'm saying, it's my brother.
Why is my PC
twin.
keep going on
I've been with him his
standby?
whole journey in jail. And I ain't gonna lie, like he ain't never say nothing about rapping.
The interview actually featured an iconic moment where Charlemagne asked Von his story, and Von proudly boasted that he just beat a body in 2 attempts, even hinting that he did indeed do the murder and only got off due to Lil Durk helping him with an expensive lawyer.
Story, what's your story?
It's my story. I just got out of jail for just beat a body in 2 attempts. Like, December? I just got out, started rapping.
So you was in jail for 2 murders?
Yeah, 1 murder and 2 attempts. I just beat.
How you beat that?
What you mean?
I mean, you didn't do it clearly. But I mean,
Yo, that nigga Charlemagne is still.
like, how, I mean, you ain't something to throw young black man in jail.
Like jury, like, you know. Like, you know, jury, yeah, look, you know.
That's expensive too, to take it to trial and all of that.
Yeah.
Hey man, if your brother got on $500,000 worth of jury, he gonna have a lawyer.
Von's breakout moment would come just weeks
That's
later
real
in
shit.
December 2018 with the song Crazy Story, a vivid depiction of a robbery gone wrong. The song's powerful storytelling captivated listeners and amassed over 100,000 views on its first day, which shocked even Von himself. But their shared success wasn't without turbulence, as it seemed that Von would bring the Chicago street mindset back to Lil Durk's life, who at this point had already seemingly moved on to bigger and better, more positive things, living the rapper lifestyle all the way out in Atlanta. In February 2019, not even a year after Von had signed to OTF and begun dropping music, Durk and Von would allegedly take part in an incident that would land them an attempted murder case in Atlanta.
Yo, Chad, this when Durk started going like mainstream for real, and I ain't gonna lie, bro, he was making some heat, bro. I wish I would turn myself in if I ain't fuck one last time. Oh my God. Yo, Chad, this is when Durk was really making that, like I ain't gonna lie, he was really making some bangers, like really classic.
Allegedly, an altercation would take place outside of the Varsity restaurant, where Durk and Von, along with their friend and fellow OTF affiliate THF Bezu, as well as another Chicago rapper AAB Hella Bands, would allegedly shoot and rob a man by the name of Alexander Witherspoon. Police would claim that Durk was caught on camera during the incident, firing from his custom Jeep Trackhawk with a large 300 printed on the side. But the surveillance footage of the incident was seemingly from an angle that left much ambiguity to who had ultimately been the one shooting.
This is the car, and this is the SUV. So you're gonna see it in just 1 second.
So the car with the lights on was also.
That's the car that the gentleman was in. Like I said, if you're looking at it, hey guys, look. So in a minute you're about to see it.
Okay.
So I can't tell where he came up from, but you're gonna see the green shoes in a minute. So look at right here. This is the car, the SUV behind it.
You can't even see it.
It's the
That's probably
SUV.
how he beat it. They ain't got no evidence.
No, those girls are talking in the SUV. And in 1 second, you're gonna see the guy get out tussling. It look like they're in the back tussling or something, but you really can't tell what's going on.
You can't tell.
But if you see inside of that car, you see all that tussling.
Right.
So this is the guy.
Yes,
Chad, who else think that was tussling? Had to be Vaughn, right? Had to be Vaughn.
That's the guy with the green shoes. He's trying to push the door and all that. So I don't know if he has a firearm too, but I know he falls a couple of times.
Okay, there he is.
That's him. That's him steady running.
He got hit.
He's steady running, and then you'll see him fall out in front of us. 2401. That car was shooting in that one too.
As weeks passed following the incident, Lil Durk and King Von continued their lives as if nothing had happened, while Atlanta police methodically pieced together their investigation. And in May 2019, the facade would come crashing down as King Von was ultimately arrested, with dramatic footage showing over 30 Chicago police officers swarming O-Block to take him into custody.
Damn, 30 officers?
Hey, well, y'all got me.
Stay on the ground. Stay on the ground.
Gang,
Just don't resist. Don't resist.
gang, why y'all grab me? What the f*** y'all?
Other footage would show King Von in the precinct after his arrest. Shortly after, Durk voiced his support on Twitter, simply writing "Free Von." But then another tragedy would strike just a week.
RP Hella Bands. This dude would always come through the store and show love, and he got killed last night in Miami. Damn.
A week later, when AAB Hella Bands, real name Amir Golston, was gunned down outside of a Miami nightclub in the early hours of the morning. AAB Hella Bands, who's from the so-called Wild 100s in the far south side of Chicago, had allegedly killed another rapper in 2015 who went by the name of Chris Smokes and belonged to a set called LSG 109th, also known as Kush Cowboys or T3 Gang. The LSGs, or Lynchman Circon Gangsters, have a long history, allegedly going back all the way to the original Supreme Gangsters that preceded the Gangster Disciples, as well as the Black Gangster Disciple Nation alliance between the GDs and BDs that was formed between Larry Hoover and David Barksdale. Allegedly, 4 years after Hella Bands had killed Chris, a member of the LSG by the name of
Yo, D's money, thank you for the sub.
Austin Hall would fly to Miami to kill Hella Bands as revenge for his fallen friend.
Wait, they flew to Miami just to kill that nigga? What? They killed him at Miami Beach? Oh, hell no.
Him in front of a busy nightclub, with the assassination being caught on video surveillance.
And Miami Beach police are releasing some surveillance video they say captures the shooter as he tries to run away.
Fly, he's dead.
Newly released video obtained from the Miami Beach Police Department shows people running for their lives on South Beach. Moments later, this man is seen running diagonally across Washington Avenue. Miami Beach police...
Bro, getting killed at Miami Beach is crazy. Do these niggas just not care? Do these niggas not care?
Later, this man is seen running diagonally across Washington Avenue. Miami Beach police now say they believe this is the man who opened fire, killing 24-year-old Amir Golston, better known as rapper AAB Hella Bands, and sending another man to the hospital.
A Miami Beach spokesperson would later reveal that Hella Bands had been wanted in Atlanta for the attempted murder and robbery case involving Durk and Von.
The victim in this case, it was wanted out of Atlanta PD. Actually, he had an active warrant for attempted murder, armed robbery.
Meanwhile, according to the Chicago Police Department's website, 2 days after Hella Bands' death, THF Bezu would be arrested in Chicago as a fugitive from justice, allegedly tied to the same Atlanta shooting. However, despite Von and Durk's legal troubles, their music careers had flourished. Just weeks after Von's arrest for the shooting and robbery incident, the remix for his hit song Crazy Story featuring Lil Durk would drop, becoming a massive hit, even landing the track on the Billboard Global 200, being sat at a whopping 122 million views. 1 week after the release of this remix, Lil Durk took to Twitter to announce that he would be turning himself in for the same crimes the following day.
And now I gotta say it again 5 years later. Free you, Smirk. Free you, man.
But before doing so, he would actually sit down for a TV interview in his lawyer's office, where he claimed his innocence and vowed that he had moved past the street gang life of his youth.
You're about to surrender as we speak.
Yeah.
How come?
Because I have nothing to hide. Like, I have nothing to run from.
A rapper's ride. Soon after we spoke, Dirk Banks, a.k.a. the performer Lil
Hey,
Durk,
thank you for the 75
emerged from his
months.
lawyer's space and headed toward an SUV. Soon after that, he stepped out in front of the Fulton County Jail. One of his lawyers says he was swiftly taken into custody there, having swiftly flown back to Atlanta after he found out he was wanted.
We found out we had a warrant. We was actually on tour. Once I heard, I immediately came back.
He's willing to turn himself in and take care of what he needs to take care of.
We immediately canceled the tour.
He's got a multi-million-dollar...
So, Judge, you see that he turned himself in once. What does he gotta hide from? Give Dirk bail. Like, yo, like, you feel me? Trying to give Dirk bail. Yo, something make Dirk get me for the sub. Activation point, sub, how to subscribe to the stream.
salary, music career going.
Did you do it? Did you...
Why would he say he did it? What the fuck?
shoot this man? Did you commit the other crimes of which you're accused?
No.
Banks indicated his lawyer told him not to discuss the specific facts of the case, but he confirmed what his attorney Manny Aurora said, that as a youth, Banks was drawn into the gang life that surrounded him in Chicago, but that's not who he is today.
I had a bad background, just growing up as a child, about father being incarcerated for 25 years, 26 years. So I had a rough past, but like me moving to Atlanta, I just thought that just changed my whole identity of thinking.
Not long after this, Durk and Von would appear together in what would become an iconic court appearance, solidifying their image as the evil twins, who weren't just rappers from the same area, but a dynamic duo of gangsters ready to get shooting at a moment's notice.
Banks released a single, Turn Myself In, the day he turned himself in. It's gotten almost 7 million views. The prosecutor charging this wasn't just a robbery and shooting.
7 million views. It's probably at like 30 now, bro. Chat, every time we see a classic, I need y'all to type classic, bro. Vibe with me today, chat. I need y'all to type classic. What's the word, Trap? Classic.
But gang activity.
She
put a Chicago detective on the stand to testify that Banks and Bennett are members of Chicago gangs.
Is it possible to continue your affiliation and even commit crimes when you move out of Chicago if you're in a different city or if a different area?
Yes, ma'am.
Following some intense legal back and forths, which included testimonies from Lil Durk's pastor and record label, Durk would be granted a $250,000 bond in June 2019.
Lil Durk's pastor and record label all testified on his behalf, and at the end of it, the judge determined that the rapper is not a flight risk and granted him a $250,000 bond.
He's not a flight
Celebrating
risk.
his release, he would hop on Instagram Live, visibly relieved as he ran out of jail.
We out here. We out here. Yo, I'm getting fired in the motherfucking apartment, yeah? They talking 15 minutes, I'm talking 30. I'm sitting there. All right.
Oh, we were still waiting on the driver to come up. Just hop in. We waiting on the driver.
Man, 30K was blessed. That is blessed.
Stay right here.
Another car is about to pull up.
I ain't gonna lie, chat. I really thought Durk was gonna change his life after this. The way he turned himself in, the way he was pleading on a song, that nigga remained the same nigga. Real shit.
I'm back. Hey, thank everybody for the love and support.
Yeah, definitely appreciate everybody for rocking out with us, supporting us, believing us, you know?
Look at Asian doll in there. Ugh. I ain't gonna lie, Asian doll pisses me off now, chat. Like, just seeing her name pisses me the fuck off.
During the live session, Durk would tease fans by mentioning that King Von would be coming home the very next day.
Von will be home tomorrow.
Shortly afterward, Durk would proceed to do an interview on his time in jail from his home.
Then when you get in type of that, in a predicament like this, you would sit back and be like, damn, like, why I ain't never do this more? Why I ain't never do this with my kids more? Why I ain't do this with my pops more, or my mama? You know what I'm saying? So it just set me down, so I just understand life more.
Von's release would come a few days later after he was granted a bail of $300,000. However, one of the conditions of their release was that Durk and Von could not be in contact with one another, this even applying to promo runs and club appearances, with the judge essentially breaking up the evil twins for good. For real, these two childhood friends couldn't speak to each other.
Chat, do you think that was a smart decision by the judge or a bad decision? Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Maybe Durk could have helped him change his life, bro. It could have been a bad decision by the judge, bro. Could have been a bad decision, bro. Shit.
For a pretty extended period in this time. This is something that Von would actually comment on during his March 2020 interview on No Jumper.
Isn't you and Durk, your probation or whatever is such that you're not supposed to be associating with other people who are part of the case? So is it like a thing where you're not supposed to be around each other?
Yeah, so yeah, me and Durk, we only see each other like at court, if we got court.
So even when you're on tour, you can't really be around each other too much?
Nah, we can't. Hell no.
Damn, that's up.
Yeah, ugly.
Is that strange, like just to have the court basically just saying you can't be cool with one of your best friends?
Yeah, because you know it's like, I started off with him. Like he started it up for me and everything. Like how people get to notice me. He bringing me to his interviews and pulling up a chair right here and letting me sit right there.
Right.
Like even though it's just like it's supposed to say.
Yeah, I don't agree with that move.
He'd have
by
a chair
the
right
judge.
here for me. You be like, what the f going on?
Right.
Nah, this is my artist. You see what I'm saying?
But all that stuff is out for right now, which is unfortunate.
That's what I'm saying. So they just say we caught the case and they removed me for everything. Like in all my shows, I only was having shows.
You dummy if you think they still wasn't leaking? Nah, I don't think they was linking. They probably was on FaceTime or some shit with each other. You feel me?
It's a Durk.
Right.
Like he pulling me on his. You see what I'm saying? So I'm only going places with Durk. I'm only doing. So now it was time to. They put the case. You can't be around Durk no more. You can't move. So now I was only in the studio with Durk. I was on it. So now do everything on your own. You just gotta do it. So I just gotta.
But while Durk and Von couldn't spend time together anymore, there was someone else who was seemingly occupying much
Lena,
of Von's
thank you
time.
for the,
Shortly
sub.
after achieving
What's
rap
the word,
stardom in
Lena? I ain't speaking
2018,
in a while.
King
Hope
Von
you
had
been
begun
good.
dating the rapper Asian Doll, aka Asian
Put it in
the
the
Brat, or
comms,
simply
Zane.
Asian. The two lovebirds had first crossed paths at a celebrity basketball game where Von had tagged along with Lil Durk. Eventually, Von convinced her to go on a date, borrowing Durk's Trackhawk in an attempt to impress her. This Trackhawk actually being the exact one that was allegedly later used in the attempted murder case in Atlanta.
She sent the number. I was saying she live in Atlanta. Now
Bro, Asian Doll really caused this shit, man. But I can't blame her because it's not really Asian Doll. It's really their own.
Man, I go to the crib. Now Durk out of town. He left his truck in my car. He got a Trackhawk. That was raw. So I got Durk's car today. So I go pick up. I tell her I'm gonna take her out.
From here, the couple soon became inseparable, frequently being seen together online, and Von would officially announce their relationship during a joint interview with Lil Durk on Shade 45.
King Von, I'm saying he in a relationship too.
Shout out Agent there.
Okay.
Yeah, he go ahead, yeah.
You heard it here, man. He looking at you like, come on, man.
However, Von's legal problems didn't take a back seat. Even while out on bail stemming from the Varsity incident, Von's fiery personality would lead to more issues. He would actually allegedly end up briefly in jail again after getting into a studio fight with somebody who'd apparently disrespected Asian Doll, calling her a
Tell him what happened to my hand, bro.
Folks overbeat his.
Call my girlfriend.
But in the end, a relationship between these two would get rocky, and it would be another rapper who would get himself mixed up in their drama. This rapper, of course, being Baton Rouge gangster rap superstar NBA YoungBoy. Now, if you want to understand YoungBoy's complicated and violent backstory, I've made a 6-hour deep dive on his life, so you can go and watch that for all the context if you don't know nothing about YoungBoy. But to understand the origin of this beef between Lil Durk's OTF and YoungBoy's NBA, or Never Broke Again collective, which would eventually end up leaving both Von and Quando Rondo's cousin Lil Pam dead, and Durk fighting for his life behind bars, we have to go all the way.
Brody fought with a goofy shit, nothing about Asian.
Back to where it started, and it all started with Von. In late 2017, Lil Durk had dropped the song My Side that featured NBA YoungBoy. In the song, Durk would acknowledge that he and YoungBoy were a cut above the rest when it came to the rap game, and that they were setting the bar for the others. Durk was clearly a big fan of YoungBoy, as well as fellow singing Southern street rapper Quando Rondo, who was signed to YoungBoy's NBA label, as Durk would actually name both of them in an Instagram post where he listed his favorite 50 rappers of all time. Furthermore, in my opinion, the influence of YoungBoy and Quando's style, a very unique approach of singing and using auto-tune to tell stories from the streets, really resonated with Durk and inspired him to keep making more of that same auto-tuned pain music. YoungBoy, Quando Rondo, and OTF had a seemingly amicable relationship up to this point. In February 2019, Von and Quando were seen hanging out backstage at a show and filming a skit where Quando actually would diss Von's ops from 63rd Street in Chicago.
I'm saying though, they are 63rd dirty.
Ah, good times, chat. Know what's so crazy, chat? If this was me and I was DDG, y'all would call me a dick rider. But y'all won't call Quando a dick rider. See what I'm saying? But he's not. I don't think he's a dick rider. You feel me? Shit like this happens. It's life. Oh my God, a nigga said free Quando. I forgot Quando's locked up too. Damn.
Things seemed really positive between these two groups, but that was all about to change when a year and a half later, in early 2019, Von would hop on IG Live to call out YoungBoy, claiming that he had lies or cap in his raps.
YoungBoy talking about on this song, bro.
What?
You talking crazy on this.
Oh, yeah?
He ain't even like that.
Oh!
On this nah. Cap. You got cap in your raps.
However, in August 2019, King Von would surprisingly tweet a welcome home message to YoungBoy following his release from jail. So despite their growing tensions, there appeared to be a brief sense of camaraderie between these groups. Around the same time, Von would actually begin incorporating some of YoungBoy's rhetoric into his own style, further blurring the lines between respect and rivalry. In October, DJ Academics would stir the pot by tweeting that NBA YoungBoy was the realest street rapper to ever emerge since the...
Man, y'all talking that shit though. NBA YoungBoy drops tonight. That might be the realest rapper since the Chirac drill era. Name another rapper with them in their raps in real life other than them. I'll wait.
Original Chirac drill era, challenging fans to name another artist who really lived the life they rapped about. Without hesitation, Lil Durk would respond with a suggestion of his own, King Von.
I mean, he ain't lied, King Von. Shit.
In February 2020, King Von suggested that he and NBA YoungBoy had actually worked on music together, even calling on YoungBoy publicly to release the track on Twitter. In a post that seemed to hint that YoungBoy had been holding onto the song and blocking its release, in May, Durk would release his 5th studio album, Just Cause Y'all Waited 2, a sequel to...
Chat, y'all know what word I'm waiting for. Chat, y'all know what word I'm waiting for. Y'all know what word I'm waiting for. Classic. Classic, chat. Classic.
To a mixtape that he had dropped back in 2018. This album also containing the song Turn Myself In, which had been originally released in June 2019, just before Durk had been locked up for the alleged incident in Atlanta. The album would debut at number 5 and later became his first album to reach the top 2 on the Billboard 200. But as Durk celebrated his album rollout, King Von would be out instigating the beef and prodding YoungBoy. And in August, he would tweet a cryptic message to his fans, claiming that they wouldn't believe the woman he had just made a hit song with. Later that same day, photos surfaced online.
Chat. Alright, here's the thing, right? Do y'all think there was a real song made? Because I swore all the YB fans and all the hackers would have got the song by now. Do you even think a song was created? Be honest. Do you think that they're gatekeeping a song? Because I feel like this shit would have been leaked. No, there's no song, nigga.
Line of Von with Jania Michelle, the mother of NBA YoungBoy's child, sparking a social media frenzy. Von escalated the drama by insinuating on Twitter that he had a sex tape with Jania and hinting that he could release something.
Jania and I seen videos of you getting fucked. Stay on my DMs. I post some shit on this bitch that make a motherfucker cry and stop claiming their kids and all types of shit. Oh my God.
That could make someone stop claiming their kids. Jania quickly denied the rumors, attempting to shut down the speculation. However, leaked messages suggested that Von's actions were less about Jania and more about getting under Asian Doll's skin, revealing that his supposed collaboration with Jania was an effort to provoke Asian Doll, who he'd apparently split up with at this point. Asian would quickly dismiss Von's claims as lies, asserting that she had found direct messages between Von and Jania before they split up, just adding more fuel to the fire.
Oh, nah, I seen that in them DMs. I've been seeing it. She's lying. I've been seeing it. Been on dick. I've been seeing it. None of this not a surprise. This is just on the internet right now. You know what I'm saying? I've been new.
The very next day, NBA YoungBoy would respond with an Instagram post aimed squarely at Von. And in a shocking move, YoungBoy captioned the post with a vow to make sure that his son sleeps with King Von's daughter, turning the trolling into a deeply personal and slightly weird attack. Amid the escalating tension, Durk and Von's longtime friend from back in the days when OTF was something more than just a rap collective, Lil Reese, would enter the beef too, tweeting a bold threat that he planned to beat up Quando Rondo, a close friend of YoungBoy and an artist on his NBA label. To which Rondo would...
Chat, why did he mention Quando? He said, I ain't gonna lie, when I catch Quando Rondo again, I want to see what all that tough shit about. Why he mentioned Quando out of anybody though? Like something must have happened behind the scenes, right?
Respond by saying that Reese and the Chicago rappers in general wouldn't do nothing.
Man, this gang gonna do nothing with me.
At this point, the beef between Von and YoungBoy had now broadened to include numerous people from both sides, and in September 2020, King Von would tweet what appeared to be a direct threat towards Quando Rondo and NBA YoungBoy, saying that he hoped God had space for both of them. The following day, Quando Rondo's right-hand man, Lil Tim, would fire back on Twitter, warning Von and the other Chicago rappers to think twice before messing with Quando. But Von, unfazed, would respond the day after, saying that he'd been fighting his whole life and he could punch hard as hell. Around this time, Von would also begin publicly claiming that he was single and too focused on his career to be in a relationship. However, he would still be spotted at a club with YoungBoy's baby mama, Jania Michelle.
So just like 2 days ago, Jania was spotted in the club with King Von's sister, and King Von was also there as well. You couldn't see them together, but you know they were together. If you know, you know.
2020 was truly King Von's year. He had dropped 2 successful mixtapes back-to-back.
Another classic song.
Grandson Volume 1 and LeVon James, and he was priming himself for a blockbuster debut with the much anticipated project Welcome to O Block coming. But also, by October, Von had shifted his focus to promoting his new song, Mine Too, a track that was subtly dissing NBA YoungBoy as he would rap about how somebody's girl was Von's too, whilst also mentioning having beef in the NOLA, or New Orleans and Louisiana, the latter being YoungBoy's home state. Also in October, Von would tweet that once a girl lets another man in, he would no longer want her, leading fans to speculate that he was referencing Asian Doll, possibly moving on, and rumors would then begin swirling that Von's ex-Asian Doll had actually...
I'm pretty sure Asian Big Fat... I'm pretty sure Asian Big Feet ass sucked YoungBoy dick. Nigga said she did. Damn. I don't like women. Bro, stop calling my fucking phone. Hold on.
Met up with YoungBoy, a claim that emerged after DMs from people in YoungBoy's camp leaked. Meanwhile, Durk was going on the musical run of a lifetime. His momentum as a rapper was truly back, partly off the back of the street credibility that he'd received from his collaboration with Von, landing a blockbuster collaboration with rap's biggest star Drake in the form of the song Laugh Now, Cry Later, dropping in August, a track that swiftly went to number 2 on the Billboard charts. And Durk was gearing up to drop his 6th studio album, The Voice, releasing its title track in September 2020, while NBA YoungBoy, on the other hand, was on a generational run in the rap game, releasing back-to-back #1 albums and flooding the market with music in a way that proved that you could provide quality and quantity at the very pinnacle of the rap game. He was also catching cases left, right, and center, and he was certainly one of the realest, if you will, gangster rappers to have ever done it, especially at that level at this point. But YoungBoy was also still being petty and entertaining the beef. He would actually release a snippet in early November of a song that he had apparently recorded with Asian Doll.
Did this song ever drop too? I remember this shit. Did this song ever drop or get leaked something?
With the threatening title, Meet the Reaper, clearly taking a deadly hint towards...
I ain't gonna lie. I never actually heard that song, but it did sound calm. Fire songs. Wait, where's the one with Asian Doll? The one with Asian Doll didn't come out? Or was she never on there?
As soon as I touch down, they gon' call the people. I'm in that outside with them sticks out, posted like it's legal. They gon' call tryna talk, tell them they'll be stuck on something. Shit, they know what we do. Keep a dead about them. High sale in that coat. Put a 100, drop another 100. Till he dead, we ain't through. They gon' call intelligence. They gon' call heads. Gon' pop him with a rusty stick. They hit him in his head. Step on him, then we rap on shit. Leave his partner dead. I'm gonna jump on 9, wait on shit. Nigga, can't keep. Face, you look in my eyes, got demons in my head. Bitch, rolling like a wine solution. Even though I find that red. Everything I say, brand of my flag, call out red. As soon as I touch down, they gon' call the people. I'm in that outside with them sticks out, posted like it's legal. Yo, son, you can't. Tell them they'll be stuck on something. Shit, they know what we do. Keep a dead about them. High sale in that coat. Put a 100, drop another 100. Till he dead, we ain't through. I don't with the shits. I'm in this bitch, I get you blitzed.
Cool.
this beef with Von, a dig which Von would respond to by tweeting that the song was trash and claiming that his and Janeer's collaboration was much better. He would then even hint at having compromising pictures of Janeer, but then later backtracked, saying that he was only joking and that if Asian Doll was happy, then he's happy too. But the song was still trash. In an interview with DJ Academics, Von would downplay the feud with YoungBoy, saying that the internet was blowing it out of proportion.
People told me you and YoungBoy was beefing or something like that. You said something about, yo, what happened, Von? What's going on with you, man?
They be saying that a lot. It's like we got the same issues, and then you know how the internet will try to make it.
Don't tell me I got problems over girls.
No, it's the internet, gang. It's the you know, they'll try to make it like that.
It ain't the internet.
You know what I'm saying? And then you know how females will try to make it like that, cause they females, and they'll try to make it like one motherfucker hard. They try to. It be just all type, but it ain't nothing too serious, nothing you should worry about.
Tragically though, Von had no idea just how serious the situation was about to become, and only a few days later, events would escalate far beyond anyone's expectations. As has now been covered extensively in the media, on November the 6th, 2020, King Von would tragically lose his life in a shooting outside the Monaco hookah lounge in Atlanta. The incident, which was captured on security cameras, seemingly began from Von initiating a fight with Quando Rondo. This unprovoked sucker punch would immediately descend into a full-blown jumping, and chaos would break out between Von and Quando's entourages, during which time Quando's right-hand man Lil Tim would quickly exit a car that he was sitting in before calmly going around it and shooting at King Von, who was hit numerous times and would later pass away in the hospital. Adding an eerie layer to this tragedy, Lil Durk would be on Instagram Live when the news of Von's shooting broke, with fans flooding.
Chad, imagine you're finding out your homie died on Instagram. I mean,
in the comments letting Durk know what happened, and after seemingly reading these messages, Durk would abruptly end the live.
That's crazy. And he can't even have contact with him. He can't even see him, nothing. Like,
the hours that followed saw a media frenzy as tributes and reactions poured in. Durk took to Instagram to mourn his close friend, sharing a heartfelt post where he simply told Von he loved him. But while Durk was grieving, unfortunately, the internet wouldn't be kind to him, as in the midst of Durk mourning the loss of his friend, who was known as one of Chicago's most feared gangsters, who never let a violation go unchecked, online, the phrase "slide for Von" would become synonymous with Lil Durk amongst fans of drill music, popularized by none other than Rainbow Head rapping snitch 6ix9ine. The trolling and troll-looking rapper commented on Lil Durk's tribute post for Von.
My twin gone, I love you, baby bro, D-Roy. Newski, now Von, and you still rapping, go pick up a gun.
On how Durk had first lost Newski and now Von, and that he was still just rapping, telling him to go and pick up a gun instead.
Chad, do you think that these slide for Von comments really got to Durk? Be honest.
6ix9ine would continue his provocations during an appearance on DJ Academics' Off the Record podcast, accusing Durk of knowing who killed Von and doing nothing about it.
So let me ask y'all a question, Chad. Do y'all think that it amped him up to go slide, or do y'all think that he was going to slide anyway? Type amped if you think amped, or he was going to do it anyway.
They know the exact that put 10 bullets in King Von and he died there by himself. Why nobody slid for that? I don't see you on Instagram saying, yo, go slide for that, man. Y'all know what y'all saying? Yo, y'all want to crash out. I'm gonna be real with you. No. Hold on. Hold on. Wait, hold on. Kill at me. Hold on. Why this not shooting?
I'm gonna be real with you. I don't see you on Instagram say, yo, Durk, go slide for me. I discovered King Von.
No, I don't want to talk about King Von.
So I don't know no politics.
And listen, why is this not sliding on the
how you know?
Fans would quickly adopt the "Slide for Von" slogan, using it relentlessly to troll Durk in the months following Von's death. Durk would respond to the "Slide for Von" narrative, stating that none of them
y'all don't slide for your mans, don't kick no killer shit our way.
Slid for their people so that they should stop talking about killing to him. However, at this point, it seemed like every post
it was good to him
that Durk made on social media will become the target for comments demanding retribution for Von. People on Reddit would hold polls asking whether or not they believed that Durk would slide for Von, with the results showing a near even split, 53% voting no, and 47% expecting vengeance. On December the 24th, 2020, Durk would release his much-awaited album, The Voice, which he would dedicate to King.
Classic. Chad, classic.
Von. The album would peak at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, and on January the 10th, 2021, he would tease a deluxe version that would later drop on January the 29th, 2021 with 12 additional tracks. Despite the losses that he was suffering, Durk's career still had an incredible momentum like he'd never seen before. During 2021, he would be featured on multiple hit songs such as No More Parties remix by Coi Leray, which reached number 26 on the Hot 100, Every Chance I Get by DJ Khaled, which hit number 20, No Return by Polo G that hit number 26, Sharing Locations with Meek Mill peaking at number 22, Jonah with Kanye West hitting number 27, and The Bible, another collab with Drake that hit number 7, and Who Wants Smoke with Nardo Wick going number 17 on the Billboard Top 100. Durk was hot, and he was quickly becoming a fan favorite in the rap game. Genuinely, it was this hot run that made him the voice of the streets. However, despite all the success he was having in the music industry, clearly being at a loss in the streets was still having an impact on Durk's mindset, and he would even hint at the way that he was thinking in his new music. On October the 15th, 2021, Durk would release the emotionally charged track Pick Me Off, where Durk made it clear that he couldn't find peace until revenge was achieved, before following through with a promise of retribution. The music video for the song would show Durk far away from the studios and clubs of Atlanta, but actually back in his home turf in Tay-Town's hood on 59th and Princeton. But in the meantime, rapper NLE Chopper would say in an interview with DJ Academics that he had actually tried to convince Durk not to retaliate musically.
When after this happened with Von and all that, all that was happening, bro, I was the one really in bro ear, like, know what I'm saying? I don't want to be this person in your ear to be like, know what I'm saying? Let it chill, like, don't move on it. But bro, I'm gonna be that person to let you know, bro, like, this cycle we in as black men is a never ending cycle. Cause at the end of the day, bro, we one person, we got one conscious mind. That's why when I'm thinking something, they might be thinking the same thing. Cause at the end of the day, out of us being black, white, Hispanic, whatever, we are a human being and we are one race. So when you do something, this why I know what's up with life now. This why I don't do nothing out of spite to people.
Only a month later though, Lil Durk would drop the song Aha, a fiery diss that instantly went viral, amassing over 100 million views on YouTube. And in the
classic. Yo, chat, I remember niggas were trying to compare this song to I Hate YoungBoy. Listen, I Hate YoungBoy was cool, but this right here is a classic. Oh, I'm sorry. Listen, I didn't want to be a dick writer, chat. I ain't gonna lie. I think we can all say what was the better song. You feel me? Like, yo, chat, let's be honest, gang. Like, you feel me? Like, nigga, I ain't gonna lie. This shit right here is that shit, nigga. I ain't gonna. They both was tough. Nah, they both was tough, but only one can be considered a classic. You feel me? They both was tough, but only one can be considered a classic. This is a classic. I'm sorry.
The song, Lil Durk would directly address the feud, opening with a bar that made it clear that he wasn't about to take NLE Chopper's advice about not responding to Von disses, instead telling his goons to go and pick up a gun. Unfortunately, as we all know now from the alleged indictment, it seemed that despite the promise of his rising rap career, Durk was completely consumed by seeking revenge for Von. And in the years that followed, Durk would seemingly set into motion a series of events that would ultimately see him and his friends in jail, fighting for their lives and freedom. But interestingly, whilst this was already going on, and before Von had even been killed, it would appear that behind the scenes, when Von was alive, he, perhaps with the assistance of Lil Durk, was continuing to wage war on their shared enemies, without a care for the survival of his budding rap career. Only a few months before Von died, there would be another prominent murder in Chicago, seemingly orchestrated by Von and carried out by a number of people who were close friends of both Von and Durk. And with Von being dead by the time these charges came to light, Durk would end up being the biggest name associated with the murder. And with Von's death still going unavenged at this point, Durk would seemingly continue to carry the torch, doing exactly what Von did, using his music and lyrics as a megaphone to tell the world about him and his crew's murderous ways, laying the groundwork for the authorities to build up a picture of Durk and Von as violent kingpins, using their fame and money to have anyone they didn't like killed without a care. And I'm of course talking about the murder of FBG Duck. Before King Von's untimely passing, his rap career was rising rapidly. After the success of Crazy Story, he continued to drop bangers. In February 2020, he released perhaps my favourite song of his, Took Her to the O, a song all about taking an attractive female back to his hood, O Block. However, the music video and narrative for this song had a dark hidden meaning, as Von was somebody who not only allegedly killed people in the gang war, but he was also a relentless troll who thrived on beef. In the video, he would have an actor that actually looked like one of his most hated rivals, FBG Duck, and the video would even depict Von shooting Duck and leaving him dead on the ground. However, this was more than just a fantasy video prodding his rival, because within 6 months of that video that depicted Duck shot dead on the ground being released, it would seem that Von and his closest friends conspired to make that happen in real life, with events unfolding that put all of the surviving shooters behind bars for good, and potentially creating a multi-million-dollar liability for Lil Durk. As everyone following the drill scene likely knows by now, FBG Duck's murder was allegedly part of a long-running beef between two gang sets from the south side of Chicago. Duck's set, STL-EBT, sometimes referred to as 63rd or Tukaville, largely identify as gangster disciples. On the other side is O-Block, who are primarily black disciples, this being the set where the majority of Duck's convicted killers hail from. A deadly feud between these two factions, who exist just a stone's throw away from each other, stretches back more than a decade, particularly throughout the 2010s, when this feud would claim the lives of many young men in the—
Chat, real quick, I'll pause. Are y'all enjoying the documentary? We like an hour and a half in. Are y'all enjoying this shit? Like, y'all locked in?
area, with Redditors speculating that at least 10
I'm
people
enjoying
lost
this
their
too. I
lives
just wanted to
in
make
this
sure we're on the
deadly
same
beef.
page.
But to understand exactly how Lil Durk became part of this beef, we have to go all the way back to the beginning. Some of the first mentions online about the beef between STL-EBT and O-Block, or Wick City as it was known then, date all the way back to the early 2010s, although likely the beef had already started in the late 2000s. However, as already alluded to earlier, this war was never just between these two sets, but rather between numerous gang sets whose affiliations and rivalries were commonly based on their overarching gang identities, these being the Gangster Disciples and the Black Disciples, or the GDs versus the BDs, with sets like O-Block, Lamron, 600, Front Street, and TYMB being clicked up on the BD side, while sets like STL, EBT, Gyro City, Taekwon World, MOB, and Brick Squad would form an alliance on the GD side. When it comes to the specific affiliation between O-Block and Lamron, the prosecutors in the criminal case against FBG Duck's alleged killers would claim that this began in the early 2010s, as testified by one of the cooperators in the case. However, while the rivalry technically existed between all the sets from the two sides, the BDs and the GDs, it was often determined by proximity to other sets. Therefore, the beefs between certain sets were much more fierce than other beefs. Looking at these different sets on the map, it's no surprise then that the beef between sets like O-Block, Front Street, and 600 and TYMB on one side, and STL, EBT, Gyro City, Taekwon World, and MOB on the other side was particularly fierce, as most of these sets were located only a few blocks away from each other. Meanwhile, Durk's set was located in Englewood, which is on the other side of the I-90 and I-94 highways. While technically only about 1.5 miles away from places like O-Block, it was still worlds apart from the Woodlawn and Washington Park neighborhoods where the aforementioned sets were having their beef. And because of this distance, Lamron wasn't really in an active war against sets like Duck's STL, EBT, as they were largely consumed by their own local rivalries in Englewood with sets like the Brick Squad. In fact, in March 2011, Lil Durk would feature in the song We Ball, which also featured members of the rap group Buck 20 Brick Boys. One of these members being the rapper Billionaire Black, who was even pictured around Lil Durk at this time. However, Billionaire Black was at this point already heavily affiliated with rival sets like STL, EBT, and Gyro City, and only 2 months later, Billionaire Black would make the song E-Day Is You Serious, together with none other than FBG Duck himself. This song being a diss towards the rapper E-Day from the 600 set, who on the other hand was already
niggas be forgetting E-Day dead, bro. RP E-Day, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I used to bump E-Day back in the day, dead ass, bro. So, condolences for sure.
Point clicked up with Durk's Lamron crew, rapping in his song What Up from April 2011 how he's throwing up L's for Lamron with Durk's good friend Chief Wook. After this debacle, it seems that Durk and the rest of Lamron would quickly make their affiliation with the BD side known, and even get somewhat involved in the rivalry against the GDs in Woodlawn and the Washington Park neighborhoods. Because as mentioned earlier, later that same year in October, Lil Durk would get arrested together with Lil Reese due to an investigative alert, which was allegedly due to a shooting that had happened in late August 2011 where 4 teens had gotten shot in Woodlawn, with one of these allegedly being FBG Butter, a member of STL-EBT and a good friend of Duck. FBG Butter would be a big part of this early beef, particularly between STL-EBT and O-Block. He would tell DJ Vlad in an interview about the juvenile origins of this beef, revealing that King Von actually threw his hat in the mud as a kid, and that years later, he'd actually beaten up Von on the bus after school, which apparently caused Von to become
Tell y'all believe that?
Very vengeful.
When we was shorties, through my church, the legend had in the mud down in the basement of the back of his mama's house. Threw my downstairs in the basement to the mud. Bro, I beat his then too. One of the guys at school, I guess they was in that shooting ice or whatever. Folks who he got into it with was too big for him. And folks just told him like, wait till we get out of school, I'm gonna have my little homie scratch you out. Talking crazy, not knowing who his little homie is. So when I came with my bus, folks like, man, whoop him, buddy. I'm like, man, buddy, tweaking, whatever. Broski said whoop you, so I had to whoop him.
There are also some more serious examples from these early days where Lamron allegedly became directly involved in the rivalry against STL-EBT. For example, when in 2011, a young man affiliated with STL-EBT named Dale Fisher was gunned down in Woodlawn. Some of Dale's friends had seemingly blamed Lamron for this murder, and similarly, when a member of STL-EBT called Doc, real name Marlon Monroe, was gunned down in Woodlawn in April 2012, the police would state in their investigative report that people close to Doc held Lamron as one of the parties responsible for his death on social media, and, as I covered in my video about King Von, there's evidence to suggest that Von himself may well have pulled the trigger during both of these murders. Or, if you're to believe FBG Butter, also known as Cooperator 3 during Doc's murder trial, Dale may have also been killed by Von's best friend T-Roy, together with another infamous shooter D. Rose from the set 600. But in any case, April 2012 is when FBG Duck himself would aim his perhaps first musical diss towards Dirk's Lamron crew, dropping his song I'm St. Lawrence, also known as Chief Keef and Soulja Boy diss. The song is a remix of Chief Keef's 300 song, with 300 also being a number that was originally repped, particularly by Dirk's Lamron set and people affiliated with it. Duck begins the song by saying that it's F O-Block and F Lamron, which is a direct response to Keef's line in the original 300 song dissing Duck's dead friend Tuka from STL-EBT. About a month earlier, Dirk had also released his hit song L's Anthem, which was also repping the 300 moniker, whilst also dissing Lamron's biggest rivals, the Brick Squad. As a response to Dirk's dissing, the rapper Lil Jojo from Brick Squad would release his song BDK in April, aimed particularly at Dirk and Lamron. However, the chorus of the song would go much further than that, essentially dissing all of the Black Disciple sets in Chicago, as Jojo would announce that he and his set are BDK, or Black Disciple Killers. All of this was happening at a moment when the drill music movement was blowing up way past the borders of Chicago to worldwide notoriety, all with the help of Chief Keef, and with the possibilities of fame and fortune at the fingertips of every driller and drill rapper, this created the perfect conditions for the gang war between the BD and GD factions to escalate, and soon FBG Duck would join in on the BD killer movement too, tweeting the same sentiment, and from there, Duck and STL-EBT would get heavily affiliated with Jojo and Brick Squad, with Brick Squad and STL-EBT, and particularly Jojo and Duck, then becoming the biggest faces of the GD side within the drill scene, together with guys like Lil J, who was focusing heavily on dissing Chief Keef and O-Block in his music. But unfortunately, in early September 2012, Lil Jojo would be gunned down in Brick Squad's neighborhood, becoming the first highly publicized example of how beefs in this new musical genre of drill could lead to real-life deaths in the streets. Jojo's murder would go unsolved, and it would do little to steer guys like Duck away from dissing the BD side in music or on social media. In fact, it would only incite more dissing, with Duck tweeting after Jojo's death that he would be continuing the BDK legacy in his memory. One person from the BD side who Duck would go back and forth with on social media was none other than King Von, with one time even Von's own sister Kayla B getting involved in their beef and taking the GD side in tweets seeming to back Duck up. Every now and then, Duck's dissing would also be aimed at Lil Durk personally, like in September 20.
Lil Durk at Blank, he never shot at nobody from St. Lawrence. Boy, you not with it, so just quit it. Damn.
2013, when he would call Durk a fake gangster on Twitter, as well as dissing J Money, one of Durk's close friends from O-Block, who was killed in 2013, allegedly by a member of STL-EBT called Lil B. Durk would seemingly respond the next month in October when he would drop his classic drill song Competition featuring Lil Reese, where he would call Duck Lil Duck and rap how that he can't duck Durk's gun. Later that month, Duck's friend Lil J,
classic, Lil Duck, he can't duck this clip. You know, I ain't gonna lie, that competition is hard. Classic.
Durk had also dissed, would drop his response to the song titled Competition Domination, where he would call Durk an actor and tell how he was going to put him under the dirt. Duck would also continue throwing little jabs at Durk on social media, like in October 2014, some months after Durk's beloved cousin Nooski had been killed, when Duck would take to Twitter just to announce that he was smoking on Nooski. Durk would seemingly respond to these jabs in December 2014 when he would feature on the remix for E-Day's song War. This was perhaps Durk's most brazen diss so far, as he would begin his verse by saying how he's considered to be the one who initially sparked the GD versus BD war. This being a reference to how Lil Jojo had seemingly created the BDK song as a direct response to Lil Durk's L's Anthem song. Durk would then up the ante and diss numerous people and sets from the GD side of the war, including Duck's STL-EBT set, and two of his close friends who had been killed in the war, Tuka and KI. A few years would pass, but in 2016, Duck would continue dissing on the music side, as he would release his mixtape, This How I'm Coming, which would begin with an intro song where Duck would once again diss Durk's cousin, Nooski. In 2017, the war between the BDs and the GDs would intensify considerably after one of O-Block's most beloved members and the best friend of King Von, T-Roy, would be gunned down inside of a corner store. And the people responsible for T-Roy's murder were allegedly TB or Terry Barry from Taekwon World and Can't Get Right, aka Get Right, or Man Man from STL-EBT, who would be seen posing for a picture in the exact same clothing from the surveillance footage of the murder earlier that month, while one of the people in the photo would be none other than FBG Duck himself. Duck would also go live on Instagram shortly after T-Roy's murder, where his brother Brick can be heard talking about the murder before Duck cuts him off and makes some very disrespectful statements.
Look on the
out here going crazy. They so happy. It been funny as hell, cause I know folks know proud. They got him out the way. I know
I'm on live, G. Shut the up.
It's funny.
Before you even get it, it just came on. But still, this Instagram, it deleted instantly, G. It just came on. But damn, G, don't start. Damn, merchant, they popped you up. It must don't be. It ain't.
R.I.P. Chad. This shit is sad, bro. The way these niggas be provoking, bro.
I ain't see you.
T-Roy's death would cause a chain reaction of revenge killings, where O-Block and 600 would team up to create what they called the Get Back Gang, a group of killers hell-bent on avenging or getting back for T-Roy, with numerous people losing their lives during this period, including Duck's very own brother FBG Brick, who was gunned down in a brutal double murder. But all of this wouldn't seem to scare Duck, who would keep dissing his enemies in his music, like the song Smoke that he would release with Chirac's official peace pusher, FYB J-Mane, who at the time was still in his over-whooping era dissing all the ops. J-Mane would rap incredibly disrespectful bars, like how he was smoking on Durk's good friends, the late rapper L.A. Capone and the O-Block member J Money, or Durk's manager Chino, and in his verse, Duck too would join in the smoke-a-thon of Durk's friends, before also rapping how he was going to slide to Durk's hood in Lamron, aka 64th and Normal, and shoot it up. But talking about sliding, while he didn't quite know it yet at the time, Duck was on the cusp of his big breakthrough, as he would release the second installment of his This Is How I'm Coming mixtape series, which would include the hit song Slide. After the release of the music video for the song in January 2018, the track would go viral, taking Duck's career to the next level, as he would suddenly become a nationwide drill star, arguably for the first time in his career, actually reaching fans outside of the drill niche. He would get noticed by major hip-hop publications like XXL magazine, and the song would even lead to Duck signing his first ever record deal, and getting a major co-sign by the Atlanta rapper 21 Savage, who hopped on the remix. 21, who had previously done music with Lil Durk, and moving in the same circles of rappers living in Atlanta, was seemingly unaware about the long-running tension between Duck and Durk. He must not have even realized that some fans were suggesting that the entire Slide song was actually a huge diss towards OTF. But anyway, during 2018, this was also the year when Durk was making a comeback musically with the help of his new street prodigy, King Von, whose beef with Duck was much more personal due to the years-running war between O-Block and the GD sets of Woodlawn, such as Duck's STL EBT set, with Von himself rumored to have been behind the murders of several people affiliated with Duck's set. Therefore, it was no surprise then that since Von's first hit song, the December 2018 release track Crazy Story, he would often aim disses directly at STL EBT, even creating the popular catchphrase dissing that neighborhood, saying "We not from 63rd," and even going as far as to create numerous pieces of merch so fans could also express their dislike of Duck's block. Duck would seemingly respond to Von in a scathing diss track together with another GD rapper and his own cousin, Ruger, who would ultimately make his own nationwide breakthrough a few years later with his track GD Anthem. But back then, it would be this song, a remix of King Von and Mimo 600's track Exposing Me, that would include disrespectful mentions of numerous dead members from the BD side of the war, with the track remaining to be one of the most brutal diss songs released in this entire feud. A few months later, Durk would let it be known that he too was joining Von's crusade against Duck and his set, as Von and Durk would release Crazy Story Part 2, which ends with Durk repeating how they're lurking in 63rd, looking to catch their enemies. However, at the end of 2019, something surprising would take place, as Duck would release his song Chicago Legends, where he would pay tribute to many fallen rappers from Chicago, one of these being Durk's cousin Newski, whom Duck had dissed in the past several times. It's hard to say exactly what Duck's motives were. On the one hand, he could have been purely trying to push peace, but on the other, perhaps he was simply just trying to create a song that he knew would get some attention in the media. But one thing was clear, Von was certainly not interested in pushing peace, and only a few months later, he would release his song Took Her to the O. To a mainstream listener, the song seemed like a rather standard trap club song, with Von's trademark storytelling style playing a major role. But to drill fans, the song was a dedicated diss track, where Von would essentially lay out a story where he runs into Duck as Von is courting the same girl. This encounter would ultimately end in Von killing Duck and taking that girl. The song would also include disses towards Duck that only the most dedicated Chiracologists would likely know, like Von making a funny but disrespectful wordplay about Duck picking up a brick and then merching it, or swearing in the name of his brother Brick, who had been killed in 2017. Took Her to the O was a smash hit, which now has over 300 million views on YouTube alone. And
classic. I got like chat. Just so many beautiful records, bro. 300 million is crazy though. I didn't know it had this much.
For the song's release, it was clear that Duck would have to make a stern response. His response would come only about a week later, releasing the track I'm From 63rd. Interestingly, while the song as a whole was a direct response to Von and his favorite catchphrase, it was actually Durk who Duck would address by name, essentially little boying Von, making it seem as if it was the big dog Durk who had sent Von to diss him on his behalf, as well as acknowledging how Durk and Duck had been going back and forth on wax long before Von had even picked up a microphone. But Duck wasn't done with the dissing, and it was his next diss song which would be one of his most disrespectful ones yet, and unfortunately also his last song, the infamous track Dead. Duck would begin the song by immediately announcing that the Chicago Legends track was nothing but business, before going straight back to dissing dead people from the BD side. Duck would also acknowledge Von mentioning his brother Brick in the song Took Her to the O, saying that Brick had been slinging dope when Von was still doing kid stuff like swimming and fishing, before dropping some more highly disrespectful bars about dead members from sets like 600 and O Block. Unfortunately, the rest is history. Dead certainly increased the size of the target on Duck's back, but regardless at this point, he was the most high-profile GD rapper from 63rd and probably the biggest trophy in the streets for his ops. Sadly, in August 2020, about a month after releasing that song, Duck would end up getting brutally gunned down by members and affiliates of O-Block in a brazen, broad daylight attack in Chicago's most upscale shopping district, located in the Gold Coast neighborhood, right in front of the Dolce & Gabbana store. Now, if you want to see a deep dive all into the details of the murder of FBG Duck and the aftermath, you can go and check out my 2.5
I'm glad I like Trap Lord Ross because I'm glad he's not like putting all this shit in. You feel me? Like, nigga, send us to another video, nigga. We ain't trying to, we already know.
Our video just on that topic. But for the purpose of this video, let's keep things brief and focused on Durk's connection to the crime. Because right after Duck's murder, Durk would once again be caught right in the middle of an Instagram live when fans would begin to barrage him with comments about Duck's passing, with Durk acting like nothing had ever happened, showing himself hopping off a private jet in good spirits while completely ignoring the imploring messages about the death of his biggest enemy.
Make a plan, watch the score in the mail. 39 years, I heard them crying to sell. Boy, getting money right up. I took a picture on my block, they think I'm back in the field.
Von, on the other hand, would come out with the most unconvincing statement, trolling the whole world.
Me and Duck settled our differences right before he passed, 100 emoji. We was talking about bringing everybody together as a whole and changing the community for the better. I'ma still stand on that shit every step of the way. I'ma be thinking of you. Yo, these niggas be so... Yo, Chad, these Chicago niggas are really different, bro. Like, goddamn, bro. Like, even though you miss my dead homie, even though you miss my dead homies in the family, bro, these niggas be trolling, bro. Like,
saying how the two had settled their differences right before Duck's passing, even adding sarcastic lines about how he was going to be thinking of Duck every step of the way, and also making snide remarks about how Duck had been dissing his dead friends and family members. Meanwhile, as time went on, the feds would get involved in Duck's murder investigation and track down the entire route that the killers had taken to the murder scene, tracing their origin back all the way to O-Block, with surveillance footage literally filming the entire crime, with them driving from O-Block to the murder, committing it, and then driving back again. However, even with all of this evidence, it would be over a year before the feds would even be able to move in with their indictment, but eventually, in September 2021, the feds would indict 5 people for the murder of Duck. Charles Liggins, aka C Murder, Kenneth Robertson, aka Kenny Mack, DeCarlos Offord, aka Los, Christopher Thomas, aka DThang, and Marcus Smart, aka Moowop, as well as another man, Ralph Turpin, aka Teasy, who had been the person that spotted Duck and gave up his location. With such a clear trail left behind by the so-called O-Block 6, also known as the Sloppy 6, it was inevitable that they would also eventually be found guilty, and all 6 are ultimately facing mandatory life sentences, while a 7th person associated with the murder, Zell Munna from O-Block, would sadly end up taking his own life before the FBI could indict him. However, during and after the trial, the discussion would also focus on the possible culpability of Von and Lil Durk in Duck's murder, particularly as the prosecution's legal documents would claim that Turpin, aka Teasy, had allegedly called someone after he spotted Duck in the shopping district, asking around to get put in contact with Lil Durk's brother and manager, DThang, who was coincidentally no longer alive by the time these arrests took place. The indictment would also mention a person named as Individual E, who pretty clearly appears to be Lil Durk, being listed as a high-ranking member of the BDs, with these details suggesting that even the FBI wasn't ruling out the possibility of Lil Durk's personal involvement in the hit on FBG Duck, but avoiding naming him specifically. In fact, based on these documents, some YouTubers would even claim that DThang would have been indicted too if he hadn't been killed in June 2021. Furthermore, it would be revealed that there had allegedly been up to a $100,000 bounty placed on Duck's head leading up to the murder, with many pointing out to a vlog filmed in O-Block a couple months before the murder took place that showed Von giving out wads of cash to other members as potential proof of this bounty being handed down. Furthermore, the person placing this bounty allegedly being someone who bought custom-made chains for O-Block members. Indeed, the Fed's investigation would also focus on the so-called O-Block chains that King Von had actually purchased for many members of his set. But
chat, it's just so sad because it's like, I'm gonna tell you why it's sad, because these rappers doing all these shits for them and they still snitching. They still telling. Like, chat, these niggas are still telling.
Before and after Duck's murder, with many of the alleged killers of Duck also receiving one, as Von would apparently spend over $100,000 to buy altogether 16 O-Block chains. The timing of these purchases and the distribution of the chains to prominent members of O-Block, including the alleged killers, appeared to symbolize loyalty and respect within the gang's ranks, as well as possibly being a reward for a job well done with regards to the Duck murder. For example, Moowop could be seen with Von at the
what did the chains say? Muwop, Chino, HK, Jado, T-Roy. Oh, that's hard. 6 Wick City for Icebox for life.
For a job well done with regards to the Duck murder. For example, Muwop could be seen with Von at the jewelry store shopping for additional O-Block chains a mere 6 days after the murder, while others like C Murder could also be seen posing with the chain on his social media just a few days after the murder. Interestingly, also Lil Durk himself seemingly received one of these chains, while Boss Top was alleged to be one of the leaders of O-Block alongside Von during the trial, with Top actually describing the chain as a hood trophy. But wearing the O-Block chain was by no means...
3 weeks after FBG Duck murder, Lil Durk was gifted an O-Block chain. If you listen close, you can hear Von talking in the background. What? This is federal. What?
Lil Durk's only connection to Duck's murder, because in the years following,
I thought they weren't even supposed to be around each other.
Duck's passing, Lil Durk would diss FBG Duck several times in his music. For example, in his December 2020 song Redman, Durk would mention how he knows someone who died with a famous name, but his friends still haven't slid for him. This possibly being a reference to the fact that FBG Duck Set, STL-EBT, aka Tukaville, would seemingly not retaliate following his murder, with apparent posts circulating suggesting that Duck's people were frustrated that nobody actually got revenge for him.
FBG Duck brother wants Tukaville to stop acting like they was gonna get back for Duck. It's crazy like you niggas on this internet trying to play with gangsters talking crazy about they don't wish yell on nobody or they wish they was not found guilty. Then the same niggas when my little brother died moved to another city was not checking in my OG, letting alone sliding for bro. Only thing niggas did was made a diss song saying what they was gonna do to them. Niggas been out for a whole year before the feds got their ass, but y'all out here saying y'all don't wish yell on nobody. Y'all niggas didn't stand on business like how my brothers did for a fucking block who never cared for them. They hated on us. We came to their hood taking over shit all day blank, and I don't gotta say who y'all is because y'all know who y'all is. Justice was served on the streets in that courtroom. Damn.
However, the more clear-cut disses towards FBG Duck would start in early 2021, as Lil Durk would release the brutally named song Should've Ducked.
Classic. I can't even. Classic. I can't even. You feel me?
Together with Memphis rapper Pooh Shiesty, where Lil Durk raps how he gets so high, he gets high as Duck, a reference to Duck being dead and in heaven. As Duck's mother, Lashina Weekly, aka Mama Duck, would hear Durk play the song in late 2020, she would hop on social media to point out how Durk was monetizing her son's death, whilst also mentioning how Lil Durk had not been mentioning FBG Duck while he was alive, seemingly unaware of just how far back the animosity between these two goes.
Now he wanna get high. He about to get high like Duck. Dirk.
He heard V-Roy.
Well, he better take that who made the V-Roy gone, not my mother son, cause he ain't do it. Remember they had a song together. Remember they had
a song together.
They differences.
Oh.
Study one for the industry. This is proof. Y'all really showing.
She trolling.
Y'all rich out mixing in my mother son. Y'all rich out mixing in Tuka. Show your craft. Do something else besides this and music. Show mother that you really, cause go pop like my son was trying to do. He was trying to cross over. Yo, sitting up here mixing in somebody who ain't getting too about you. He was right. You probably did Illuminati him. You probably did send him to get body. Now you study this and my son. And it's Christmas. Beautiful Christmas. That don't make no sense. How y'all used to be as one. Y'all got y'all in the industry and blackball all the GDs. Trying to well, I'ma just keep that shit real. Don't make no sense. Why is this man mixing in my son? He never did it while he was alive. And if he did do it, he sneak dissed and do it. He sneak dissed and do it. He always went around.
I mean, she got a point. I ain't never mentioned Duck when he was alive.
You can say my son's name.
Maybe back in the day.
So out, baby. Go out to the mother who got your sick. You feeling like us. We ought to unite and show these or whatever the case may be. You coming for the wrong.
You got a point? No, she do.
The dissing would continue only a few months later on OTF's group album Loyal Bros, which would interestingly feature the infamous O-Block chain on the cover. And in his verse for the song Dying to Hit 'Em, Durk would make another rather obvious reference to Duck getting killed outside the Dolce & Gabbana store, saying that the ops get dropped right at designer stores. In June 2021, a few months before O-Block members would be
classic.
Hit with the indictment, Lil Durk released a joint
classic.
album together with Atlanta rapper Lil Baby titled Voice of the Heroes, which would include the song Still Runnin' featuring Meek Mill. And in his verse, Lil Durk would rap several bars that seemed to insinuate people close to him being behind Duck's murder, as he would say how his team might have taken a few L's, but in Chicago, they're winning for sure, before making a poorly disguised reference to FBG Duck, which is only covered by the sound of a gunshot, whilst also mentioning how Duck had nowhere to go when he tried to run and failed ducking when the shooting started. Lil Durk would seemingly even...
I ain't gonna lie, he did mention that. Do it for what? You better not say that you do it for them niggas be tucked. That nigga was fucked. The moment he ran and he knew he ain't ducking his ass out of luck. Oh my God, classic. I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm sorry, it's just classics.
Enjoy making creative...
Bro, you still got the flu?
Huh?
You still got the flu?
Yeah, I'm still sick. I'm beating
Bro,
my
I've been in the hospital for a week.
You're in the hospital right now?
Yes, bro. I've been in this bitch for a week.
Damn, bro. Get well soon, bro. I don't have the flu. I don't know what I had. I just caught a cold. But let me get back to the shit. That's not Ola, nigga. That's Fredo.
Duck in his personal life. In March 2022, one of the world's most famous country music stars, Morgan Wallen, who had been collaborating with Lil Durk, would respond to one of Durk's posts with a bunch of duck emojis. As drill fans would see this, they would quickly...
My granny address, I grew up in that house, and we made... Why is he putting duck emojis?
Check Morgan in the comments. After that, Morgan Wallen would publish an apology saying that he had no clue that he was disrespecting the dead, and saying that Durk would always talk to him about going duck hunting, with fans...
What? Yo.
Quickly realizing that Durk had seemingly been trolling Morgan Wallen behind the scenes, telling him that duck hunting was one of his favorite hobbies. Wallen, who is
my God. Yo, Durk is so stupid. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. That's some psychological issues. Chad, that's some psychological issues. You're not telling Morgan Wallen you love duck hunting. You're not. That's some psychological shit, bro.
Actually an avid duck hunter himself, had no idea what this dark alternative meaning might have meant to Lil Durk.
Oh my
Fans would actually
God.
even make note of Durk's many references to FBG Duck, with memes being made joking about how hard Durk seemed to work on coming up with complicated and intricate ways to diss FBG Duck. However, in
Morgan Wallen never collab with the nigga again. You dead ass? You dead ass?
November 2022, Lil Durk would seemingly have a change of heart, as he would announce to Rolling Stone magazine that he was done dissing the dead. This announcement, interestingly, taking place only a few months after the murder of Lil Pab that Durk would eventually be indicted for. But anyway, in January 2023, FBG Duck's mother would comment on the case against his son's killers, saying how she was not going to be satisfied until everyone in the murder would face justice, before making a special emphasis on the word everyone. And in a now deleted comment, she would further specify how she found it unbelievable that Lil Durk wouldn't also get...
It would be unbelievable if you did it. Damn.
Locked up for the murder. However, a few months later, she would seemingly change her mind, instead contacting Durk via Instagram to congratulate him on the anti-violence initiatives that he was working on in Chicago with his Neighborhood Heroes Foundation, and asking if Durk would also meet with her Mothers of Peace Foundation. But perhaps, rather unsurprisingly, it doesn't seem that Durk ever took her up on her offer, and it soon seemed that Mama Duck would have a change of heart again, taking aim at Durk with a vengeance. As in October 2024, FBG Duck's mother, together with the mother of his child and another man, the latter two who both got shot during FBG Duck's murder, would actually sue Lil Durk, King Von's estate, and several record labels who had done business with OTF for the wrongful death of FBG Duck. The rap media would report on this explosive wrongful death lawsuit. This civil case, filed by a law firm on behalf of FBG Duck's family, alleges that Lil Durk, together with King Von and their affiliated groups OTF and O-Block, conspired to kill Duck and then profit from his murder.
It's been 4 years since Chicago rapper FBG Duck was killed, and his mother's pain is still raw.
Not a day goes by that I don't think about him and the life that was taken from him.
FBG Duck, whose real name was Carlton Weekly, was gunned down on the Gold Coast by a group of masked men as he waited to enter the Dolce & Gabbana store August of 2020. His girlfriend, Cash Williams, and another man also wounded in the attack. They joined Weekly's mother in filing a lawsuit Wednesday, alleging rap superstar Lil Durk had a hand in the gang-related killing, wanting to take out Weekly. Their years-long rivalry playing out in a series of violent drill rap songs.
Our complainant law lays out that a $100,000 bounty was placed on the life of FBG Duck to have him killed.
The lawsuit names a wide-ranging list of defendants, including Lil Durk, his record label, Only the Family, or OTF, and other larger labels that partnered with OTF, like Sony and UMG Interscope.
The lawsuit would make several serious claims about Durk and OTF, which in light of Durk's recent criminal charges could be incredibly damning for him financially, such as claiming that OTF is actually the media outpost of the O-Block criminal organization, and that prior to being incorporated as a music label, OTF was actually a collective of gangs consisting of O-Block 600, Lamron, THF, and other Black Disciple sets, as well as saying that OTF, the label, had acted as a conglomerate for these street gangs and a hub for their activity. The suit would then claim that OTF, the label, knew, or should have known, that the gang members that they had signed and employed were engaging in acts of serious violence and criminal activity. One of the prime examples being King Von himself, who the lawsuit would claim had taken part in robberies, assaults, and batteries in the presence of Lil Durk, with this being a probable reference to the 2019 incident in Atlanta, where Durk and Von were charged with attempted murder. One of the key claims of the lawsuit would seemingly be that Durk and Von had directly taunted FBG Duck before and after his death, and that the goal of this taunting was to expand the brand of OTF and to further the criminal enterprise of O-Block. Perhaps most damningly, the suit also claimed that Lil Durk and his brother DThang knew about the alleged $100,000 bounty that Von had put on Duck, and that DThang facilitated the events that led to Duck's murder, and that Lil Durk, King Von, and the O-Block 6 entered into agreements with each other to orchestrate the wrongful death of Duck to promote their commercial interests in selling music. These are some serious allegations, but whether or not they'll be able to actually prove this in court is another matter. Some of the claims, particularly the claims about the music, might be a little problematic, given the fact that there had been a lot of dissing between both FBG Duck and Lil Durk and Von, a beef which was very much a two-way street when they were all alive, something that both sides had engaged in for around a decade. In fact, you could even make the argument that FBG Duck not only started the dissing between him and Lil Durk, but also made the more vicious diss song, calling out numerous dead rivals from the BD side of the war, and obviously profiting from it too. But then again, FBG Duck is dead, and Lil Durk is still alive, and there's a big difference between diss songs and bullets. But on the other hand, OTF should probably have no less obligations than any other large media company. For example, what if it would turn out that CNN had hired some serious criminals to work for them and knowingly allowed their employees to murder people so that they had a constant supply of viral news clips, allowing them to rake in millions of dollars? It's probably safe to say that such a media company would not only get sued, but there's a fair chance to say that they would lose and people would go to prison. However, for now, it remains to be seen what, if anything, will come of this lawsuit. But the connection between FBG Duck's murder and Lil Durk seems to be something that's more than a coincidence. What is clear though, is that the murder of FBG Duck was only the first of many that have now been connected to Lil Durk, and the following year in 2021, before the arrest of those responsible for Duck's murder, Lil Durk would end up experiencing a death of someone very close to him, someone who was allegedly involved in that murder of FBG Duck, his brother DThang, a loss which Durk took incredibly personally, and according to online rumors and recent paperwork, incited Durk to put money in the street to get revenge, money that would apparently lead to not just one, but 3 people losing their lives. Dante Banks Jr., known to his family as Booney and to fans of his brother Lil Durk as DThang, was born on September the 15th, 1989. According to their mother's memoir, DThang was in many ways the polar opposite of his brother Durk, who was known as a wild child. However, DThang also had a short temper, which would often get him involved in fights, and as he grew older, he would also begin to spend a lot of time with older guys from the block, who were hanging out near their home on the corner of 72nd and Green, this area being associated with a local gang known as Dog Pound. Durk was seemingly always close with the Dog Pound crew, but likely due to his closest friends being from Lamron and Tay-Town, he would also spend more time in that area, despite living in the Dog Pound's hood.
Man, what block we on, Joe? Where we at?
72nd and Green.
What's happening right now, man? What's good, man?
Man, Billy D birthday, man. My cousin, shit, we out here getting it.
Everybody out here?
Yeah, man. And it's a big drill out here, man.
It's a big drill?
Big drill.
Where y'all from, bro?
Boy,
where y'all from, fam?
This dog down here, man. I'm kind of wrong, but I'm
DThang wasn't the only one in Durk's family tree who was claiming Dog Pound, as his late cousin and OTF artist Newski, who was seemingly very close with Durk and DThang throughout his childhood, would also claim the set, while also being closely affiliated with another set called Face World 079. Even the music video for Durk's first nationwide hit, This Ain't What You Want, was filmed in the Dog Pound's hood, as can be seen from the street sign of Green Street at the beginning of the video. Growing up, DThang would have 2 best friends, Chino and SB, who were both from the eastern side of the south side, with at least Chino allegedly reportedly being part of the THF-46 gang set located in the so-called low end. After graduating from high school, DThang would move to Iowa together with Chino and SB for work, but while being there, Durk would begin to send them songs that he was making, such as the track Lamron Wasted, which would begin to garner attention in Chicago, as SB would later explain during a DJU interview. He would be the one to tell Durk to move away from simply freestyling his lyrics and shouting out all his friends and affiliated sets to actually making more meaningful lyrics that people from all over could relate to.
After high school, me, DThang, and Chino have moved to Iowa.
WSB, Tat.
You know what I'm saying? We was out there hustling with the, you know, the work, whatever, you know, just hustling weed. Same thing, you know, I'm not only stay in the streets, but I'm a corporate too, so I get a gig, you know what I'm saying, a little supervisor job at a plant, you know what I'm saying, so I'm hustling and working, you know what I'm saying, doing both. So we out there around, you know, just chilling. We went to Iowa, you know, go out there hustling and then working, so I never forget Durk would start sending us songs.
Yeah, you can ban him, but if he starts trolling again,
you know what I'm saying,
get him out of here permanently.
They would send the record, I'm like, damn, this is really dope. I'm like, damn, you really got this, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't even Lil Durk, he was Tay still, you know what I'm saying? So he finally shot a video with Reggie, Status TV. That's his cousin, you know what I'm saying, Reggie. And the video was wasted. It's probably still on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So it's wasted. So that started going up. Like, you know what I'm saying? It started doing good. Like, not even really doing YouTube videos like that yet. Right. So bro put it and it just started going up. And you know, so he want to do music for real. He want to do this seriously. So we moved back. You know, we was going back and forth, still hustling, you know, getting money to fund this. We moved back and really started doing this serious. And then before you know it, like
thanks, JC.
Over just progressing.
Yo, chat. Quick break. I ain't gonna lie. Yo, chat. This shit is 4 hours long. We already halfway there, bro. Can I get an amen in the chat? Yo, chat, we already halfway there, bro. I ain't gonna lie, y'all still locked in? I gotta give a quick update. I'm still locked in. Are y'all still locked in? You feel me? All right, bet. Locked in. All right, bet. Whenever y'all want to take a break, or if y'all think we can watch the full 4, we can finish the full 4. But if y'all think we need to take a break, let me know. You feel me? But I'm locked in right now. I ain't gonna lie, this shit interesting as fuck.
Record records. I used to be on this, like, you know, he used to always want to shout his guys out, shout everybody from the hood, the lamb, you know. Now he's always telling like, blood, the world don't know these.
This shit 4 hours.
Shout these down, but you gotta start making real music, start having real songs. Like, I'm tired of every song hearing about your guys.
And after Durk's career would begin to truly flourish between 2011 and 2012, Durk would get DThang, Chino, and SB and invite them all to join his musical venture, and the 4 would start the OTF label, something that was actually documented in a noisy documentary that covered the come-up of these young music moguls. Unfortunately, almost since the start, OTF would experience some major setbacks. In May 2014, only a few days after signing his deal with the label, Durk's cousin Newski, aka Nunu, real name MacArthur Swindle, would be gunned down in Chicago, and as was the custom at the time, DJ Academics would soon report on Newski's death in his highly sarcastic style as part of his War in Chirac YouTube series.
It's your boy DJ Academics. To restart the first 48 o'clock, start pressing up RIP t-shirts.
Oh my God.
I gotta ask, is there heaven for a Chirac savage?
Yo, Ak was bugging.
It is with great sadness, great shock, great disbelief that I have to announce that OTF Nunu has been caught lacking at the mall and is now deceased. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please be warned, the following story is very graphic in detail and the involved is at maximum levels.
Following Newski's passing, some of his friends would begin to call themselves Newski Gang or Newski World in his honor. Many of these friends seemingly residing particularly in the Face World 079 hood. Newski's killer has never been caught, but online drill detectives have commonly held one man in particular responsible, this being 051 Melly, one of the most infamous people in drill music history. While practically being from different sides of the South Side, Durk being from Lamron and Melly being from 051 Young Money, Durk had ultimately gotten involved in a serious beef with Melly's set through Lamron's affiliated sets, such as 600, who were in a deadly beef with 051 at the time. There'd also been some people killed in the dispute between Lamron and 051 even before Newski's passing, with a Lamron member called OJ allegedly having been involved in the murder of an 051 member called Fathead, together with 600 members in 2012, while 051 on the other hand had allegedly killed Durk's good friend and a member of Lamron called Lil Rob in 2013. Melly's friend and 051's top rapper, Lil Mark, would also directly diss Lamron and Tay-Town in his March 2014 remix of Durk's song Competition, titled No Competition, rapping how he was smoking
Classic,
Tasty
I ain't
Pack
gonna lie,
and K-Town
classic
was
rap,
named
low
after,
key.
as well as Lil Rob, before saying that he's 300K and Die L's, with L of course standing for Lamron. Only days after dropping the diss song, Lil Mark would be tragically killed at a bus stop, allegedly by Lil Durk's friends, one of these rumoured to have been King Von himself. And after this, Durk would diss Lil Mark in 600 rapper E-Day's remix to the song War, saying how he was smoking on him. Durk would also film a highly disrespectful video of himself at that very bus stop where Mark had been killed. Newski had also gotten into an online beef with Melly's good friend and Durk's former friend Mubu Crump, who had a bitter falling out with OTF sometime in 2013. And following Newski's death, Crump would film himself at Newski's death site, even saying that he was at the scene with Newski's killer, making many believe that this person was indeed Melly.
I mean, Newski. They left his right here. I'm with the did. He don't want to be on camera though.
Less than a year after Newski's death, OTF would suffer another major blow, as OTF Chino, real name Uchenna Aguina, would be gunned down in March 2015, while sitting in his car outside of a fast food spot in the 8400 block of Stony Island Avenue, after he had taken part in an anti-violence event. Newski and Chino's deaths were devastating for DThang, as he would often let his followers know on social media. Chino's murder also remains unsolved, but once again, the same two people, Melly and Crump, would be associated with the hit, with Crump being the one to diss Chino the hardest, again going to the murder location and asking the cashier at the food shop if they had an order for Newski, calling his meal of choice the Chino burger.
Hey, y'all got that order for Newski?
Bro, these niggas be so crazy.
Meanwhile, only a few days after Chino's murder, Melly would tweet a tribute to his fallen friend Lil Mark, together with a cryptic line that indicated that Melly had gotten some kind of get back for Mark. Melly was also fond of dissing both Newski and Chino on social media, and he too would join in on Crump's burger joke during one of his Instagram lives.
Just let me a piece. Yeah, Chino burger. That's what they said.
Crump would continue dissing Newski and Chino, sometimes aiming his words directly at DThang, commenting under his tribute post to Chino in 2017 how DThang was the reason that Chino was dead, while Lil Durk was the reason that Newski was dead. Clearly, Durk and DThang were big targets for their enemies in the streets who had already killed people close to both of them. According to Durk and DThang's mother, DThang himself would end up getting shot twice between 2016 and 2017, but little is known about these incidents. Fortunately, he would seemingly survive both events with relatively little injuries. Mubu Crump, however, wouldn't be so lucky, and in May 2018, he would meet his end as he was gunned down in front of a house party during a drive-by shooting, where Melly would allegedly also get hit, but survive. The killers have never been caught, but the most popular theory online, surprisingly, points to the rivals of OTF, particularly a member of the STL EBT set called Can't Get Right, aka Get Right or Man Man. This theory being further boosted by the claim that another STL...
Wait, STL got him? What?
member, the infamous shooter Wooski, was allegedly later caught with Crump's murder weapon. However, this claim has seemingly been debunked by the YouTuber Loyalty and Betrayal.
Let's just be clear. Wooski was never arrested with a gun. He was arrested because he shot somebody in the leg twice who didn't want to press charges or whatever. But he was not arrested with the gun. The gun, the shell casings that they found, that they said with that shooting.
Why you sound like that?
That they are, I guess, assuming go with that incident. Being how the guy moved, the gun obviously moved. So I'm not sure how they matched that up to say that belonged to that. But it matched the gun that was found 10 days later after Wooski was arrested. So Wooski didn't get arrested with the gun. So all those videos have false information.
After Durk's recent arrest for the murder for hire plot, some Reddit detectives have raised a question whether Crump's murder could have also been organised by Durk, with one Redditor pointing particularly to Durk's December 2020 song called Red Man, where Durk first speaks about his pain after the death of Newski before rapping a now jaw-dropping line where he seems to predict ending up in federal prison in 10 years' time. Durk then mentions how people are asking him what he'll do about someone whose name is bleeped out, but what sounds like he could be mentioning Crump, to which Durk simply responds by saying the other person is already dead. However, these lyrics are vague at best and hardly evidence of anything other than Durk's impressive ability to foresee his future in federal custody. Unfortunately, only a few months after the death of Mubu Crump, Durk would experience yet another loss that would hit very close to home, as his cousin Darnell Banks, better known as OTF Baby D, was killed in a shooting in the far south side of Chicago in October 2018. But this wasn't the whole story, as Baby D was not alone at the time of the shooting, but allegedly with DThang, whose age at the time matches that of one of the victims reported by local news, as well as another 32-year-old man. The trio would reportedly get ambushed in a McDonald's parking lot shortly before 3 a.m., all of them sustaining multiple gunshot wounds, but thankfully, DThang would end up surviving once again, together with the 32-year-old man. In her memoir, DThang and Durk's mother would confirm him being one of the victims of the shooting, writing how this had been one of the most serious.
He had been shot several times all over his body, but he was alive, and I thank God for giving Booney another chance.
Out of all of the shootings that DThang had survived, and how Baby D's death would leave him heartbroken. Baby D's murder would go unsolved, but Melly's name would once again begin to ring in online speculations, as photos would begin to circulate of one of Baby D's cousin wearing a Long Live Baby D shirt with a large F Melly text boldly printed on the front, together with a picture of him. Durk would also seemingly begin to diss Melly often in his songs following Baby D's death, like saying how there is one special op that they haven't killed yet in his July 2019 song Like That, or even specifically addressing the person who killed his cousin in his August 2019 song Die Slow, this likely being a reference to either Newski or Baby D, while seemingly giving an order to his guys to make sure that he dies slowly. Shockingly, exactly 1 month after the release of this song, 051 Melly would be killed on the south side of Chicago while attending a house party at the 6100 block of St. Lawrence Avenue, this being in the hood of the Jaro City and Taekwon World sets. But despite the peculiar timing, Durk would seemingly have nothing to do with Melly's death, as his killer would allegedly turn out to be someone with a personal vendetta against Melly, a Taekwon World member called 007 Nate, real name Nathaniel Hicks, whose house Melly had allegedly shot up leading up to the killing. However, the evidence against Nate would ultimately not meet the burden of proof beyond reasonable doubt, and despite the facts that he was apparently identified as the shooter by multiple witnesses and seen entering the house with a gun and then fleeing the house after the shooting, and being eventually caught a few days later with the murder weapon still on him, it didn't stick. Now, if that's not a sign—
What the fuck? How did he beat it?
That you can get away with murder in Chicago, I really don't know what is. But anyway, despite having nothing to do with Melly's death, Durk would seemingly keep dissing Melly in his songs, like rapping a bar asking how someone can get killed while partying in his December 2020 song Refugee, and rapping in his intro song for the January 2021 album The Voice that since the person who killed his cousin is dead, he can finally rest, as well as seemingly calling Melly his favourite op, who's now dead, in the August 2020 song Bad Guys by the former OTF rapper Timo. DThang, on the other hand, would tweet in June 2020 how every op that ever shot him is now dead, and that he walks around with 50k in jewelry in his hood.
Walk around with my hood with 40, 50k on me. Newski, damn, ain't never wait, what? Newski killers ain't never played with me, on God. Every op that ever shot me ain't here to tell their story, period.
With Chiracologists taking this to mean that Baby D's killer was now dead too. For DThang, the shooting that killed Baby D was a near fatal moment and should have probably served as his final warning to get as far away from Chicago as possible. But unfortunately, this was not the case, as DThang would seemingly keep returning to his hometown time and time again, until finally in the summer of 2021, his luck would indeed run out. It was only 2 days after Durk hit another career high, releasing his #1 collaboration album with Lil Baby, Voice of the Heroes, during the early morning hours of the 6th of June, when DThang was out partying in the city of Harvey, which is in the far south side of the greater Chicago area. He was reportedly attending a strip club called Club O, located in the middle of the city's industrial district. According to the Chicago Sun-Times, who would seemingly confuse DThang to be a rap artist like his brother, they would explain that the shooting that killed DThang involved multiple guns, and even a police officer who was nearby when the shooting started, an officer who would actually get hit in their thigh during the chaos. Unfortunately, DThang would be shot in the head, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. Another OTF member called Trail had seemingly been at the club with DThang, and he too would get shot during the altercation, but would survive, later posting a thank you message to the people who had been
I also want to thank the people who checked in on me. I'm doing good, just trying to get a speedy recovery and get back on my feet.
Concerned about him, as well as paying tribute to DThang and saying that he put his life on the line for him. Soon following DThang's death, there would be another deadly shooting, only an 8-minute drive away from the club, which the police would consider to be a possible retaliation. The victim in this shooting being a 39-year-old named Seneca Price. But there has since seemingly been no updates about this get-back theory. From here, the media and fans would find out about DThang's death, and Reddit would light up with questions and theories, with many wondering why someone as famous and wanted as DThang, who had so much at stake with so many enemies, would risk going out partying at such a risky location. The internet would quickly turn into a hub for speculation, as amateur sleuths pieced together their own theories about what might have led to the murder, with some theories speculating that DThang had been killed due to his alleged past as a shooter for his Dog Pound set. These theories revolving particularly around Dog Pound's beef with a set called Dump Street, also known as Gutter Gang or Nate Block, sets that are part of the so-called No Love City alliance formed between numerous majority gangster disciple sets around Inglewood. As mentioned earlier in this video, no Love sets have been beefing with the BD sets from Inglewood, like Lamron and Dog Pound, since at least the early 2010s. Redditors would speculate that DThang's murder was get back for the 2013 murder of a man called 8Ball, real name Marcus Rush, who was allegedly part of a set called CMB, or Crazyville. This set having years-long ties with Dump Street, while having had at least a decade-long beef with the Dog Pound. DThang himself having dissed the set all the way back in 2014, with the wildest theories even claiming that it was DThang himself who had actually killed 8Ball, while the most attuned drill whisperers would reveal that many members of 8Ball's set had allegedly been
Baby on a third?
Yeah, of course. Thank you for the prawn.
Contributes to him right after DThang's murder, with some of these
so many hoods in Chicago.
still
I never
being
even heard of some of
available
these
online.
shits.
However,
Yeah, y'all
many
heard of these
question the
shits? I
rumors
never
about
even heard of
DThang
these
being a
shits.
killer, as he had always presented himself as more of a businessman than a bona fide shooter, although DThang himself would change his Twitter handle to DThang 2 times in 2017. Now, the number and X combination typically symbolizes in the drill culture the number of bodies a person had caught, with the other DThang from the 600 set using the same combination to seemingly claim 3 bodies. But whether DThang himself had been behind the murder or not, he had certainly been dissing both CMB and Dump Street, aka Gutter Gang, before his death, making sure that he still had enemies in his hometown. DThang had seemingly also indicated that the younger generation of CMB and Dump Street had been dissing Lil Durk and OTF, saying that he doesn't even know them and that all his ops are dead already. And after DThang's death, CMB would seemingly return the favor by posting slick comebacks, as one member would post on his Facebook the morning after how Chief Keef had been the smart one to leave Chicago with all his friends, as they were all still alive, while another member would post how the BDs might run the industry, but the GDs still run the streets. This was followed a few days later with another member posting how they'll get into it with anyone, together with an 8-ball emoji, while another member would post how all their ops are dead. Meanwhile, some Redditors have claimed that DThang was killed because he had been bragging about putting money on Duck's head while being in the club that was frequented by the GDs. But whether DThang's murder was connected to the war that had been going on around his old neighborhood for years, or to something else. Not long after his death, this war would seemingly continue to claim lives, as on July 10th, 2021, 2 men would be sprayed with bullets during a fatal incident at the Clark gas station in Inglewood. These men turned out to be a 20-year-old named Jalen Anderson and a 33-year-old called Jamie Hawkins, who were better known in the streets as Gutter Gang J-Ski and Gutter Gang Oil. Paperwork posted online by the watermark enthusiast Chusky the Real would reveal that a Jeep Cherokee had parked in the gas station for several minutes, but when Anderson and Hawkins had pulled into the gas station, at least one occupant of the Jeep would begin shooting at them before the car would flee the scene, and a search for its license plates would reveal that it was a stolen vehicle. Curiously, only a few days after this double murder, Lil Durk would make a cryptic post to his Instagram story with a picture of his brother, together with the caption, "Do it for DThang," as the post would be shared on Reddit soon after. One Chiraccologist would comment that they had heard that OTF had indeed gotten that get back, while another commenter would identify J-Ski and Oil as the reason for Durk making the post. Around the same time as Lil Durk would make this post, DThang's baby mother would also make an Instagram story with a picture of DThang, this time accompanied by the song Lick Back by the rapper ESDG, a song that essentially describes the need for always getting your revenge. These posts would prompt many Redditors to believe that OTF was indeed behind this gas station hit, but violence would continue to follow Durk from here, and just a month after his brother's passing and a few days after the gas station shooting, a strange shootout.
Alright, chat, listen. I'm gonna be honest, chat, like, you can't really blame, you feel me? You can't blame that nigga for getting back for his brother, chat. Can you blame him? Like, you feel me? Like, chat, be honest. Can you blame him, chat? Keep it a stack, bro. Can you blame him? You can't blame him. I would do the same shit, not gonna lie. I mean, shit, if you rich as fuck, I mean, you gotta know what that shit comes with, but I mean, you feel me? Like, shit, it is what it is.
Our episode would take place at Durk's home in Brazelton, Georgia, where unidentified invaders would break in with unknown motives in the middle of the night. Apparently, Durk and his partner India would reportedly fight back by shooting at the intruders, but seemingly everyone would survive the shootout without any serious injuries. But the intruders would actually escape the scene before the police arrived, and at this point, there's been very little information about what this whole incident was about. If you ask me, timing is incredibly suspicious, and may well have been in retaliation for those 2 murders that followed DThang's death. After the home invasion, some months would pass, but in October, rapper Nardo Wick would release his smash hit, Who Wants Smoke, featuring an all-star group of features, including 21 Savage, G Herbo, and Lil Durk, together with a music video directed by the music video prodigy Cole Bennett. In his verse, Nardo Wick would rap a funny line about how he even pumps gas with his gun so his ops can't surprise him, something which Durk would then reference in his own verse, but adding how listeners better do.
Classic. I just deadass had a shit out in my crib. I hired guards. My blood brother gang. Wait, what? Are you sliding for your big brother gang? Gang, my big brother don't even be in antics like that, but shit, God forbid, worst comes to worst, I don't know how I would feel, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You don't know, nobody knows exactly what they'll do until you'll be in that situation. That's why I hate niggas who be like, bro, if I was a millionaire, I'd do this, I do that, I do. You don't know what you would do if you were a millionaire unless you have $1 million in your hand, nigga. Trust me. I'm telling you the truth, bro. A lot of niggas don't really know what the fuck they gonna do until it happen, bro. Real shit. Annoyed TV CEO 1X hat emoji.
Like Nardo says, because people will die while pumping gas, which seemed to be yet another reference to the murders of J-Ski and Oil at the gas station. This was followed about a week later with Durk's song Pissed Me Off, which he would begin by paying tribute to his brother and seemingly saying they got back for him. Durk would then rap several bars about his need for a revenge after losing people close to him, even specifically mentioning how he can not feel happy until he gets back for his bro, something that seems to say a lot about his mindset at the time. Durk would then even directly reference the shootout that happened in his home, which makes me think he's letting us know that this was indeed connected to those cases. However, so far, Durk's rumoured hints about the alleged get back for his brother had been relatively vague compared to the self-snitching extraordinaires of modern-day drill music like Lil Jeff and Q50. But on the 27th of January 2022, the plot would thicken considerably as 24-year-old Stefon Mack was killed after leaving a youth peace centre in the Roseland neighbourhood, located in the far south side of Chicago. Before the tragedy would strike, Stefon, who was also known as Youngin, was visiting the youth centre where he was reportedly an active participant. Meanwhile, a black Chrysler would enter the centre's parking lot with 2 men waiting inside the vehicle for about 40 minutes, seemingly waiting for Stefon to exit the center. Then, at around 3 p.m, when Stefon would step outside and begin to walk towards his car, 2 masked men would exit the Chrysler and begin shooting at him, with Stefon attempting to flee by running in the opposite direction. One of the shooters, armed with a Ruger AR-556 semi-automatic rifle, would chase Stefon across the parking lot before shooting him from a distance, which would cause Stefon to collapse on the ground near train tracks, where the shooter would run up to him and finish the job. Shortly after, the youth center's security guard would step outside to find out what was causing the noise, which would prompt the second assailant to shoot him in the leg with a handgun. The shooters would then abandon the Chrysler in the parking lot and escape on foot. The security cameras capturing one of the assailants with a heavy build running away from the scene. And later that day, police would recover the Ruger AR rifle from the backyard of a vacant residence located nearby. Sometime after Stefon's murder, Durk and an OTF member called Chug would once again
little damn sad case, do it for DThang, bitch.
Make suggestive posts on their Instagram stories, both using the caption "for DThang," with Durk also using the name of his recent song, Aha, which at this point hadn't even been released yet, while Chug would refer to something being a sad case. Not long after, at the beginning of February, one Chiracologist would post these stories to Reddit, whilst also linking.
Nah, nigga did shoot a sieve, and I ain't gonna lie, can y'all stop trolling that big nigga running, bro? Like, what is wrong with y'all niggas, bro? Lock in, chat, lock in.
Them to the murder of Stefon, who the poster claimed to be a member of the set Smashville 85th, whilst also allegedly having connections with the so-called Melly Way that's named in honor of 051 Melly, with some even claiming that Stefon was in fact Melly's cousin. Smashville is located around 85th Street in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood in the far south side of the city, far away from the childhood stomping grounds of DThang and Durk in Inglewood. However, the set is affiliated with the Dump Street, aka Gutter Gang from West Inglewood, who have been rumored to be behind DThang's murder. There weren't initially many theories about who were the 2 people behind the murder, but unbeknownst to the public at the time, the alleged killers were making sneaky references to their crimes on social media. For example, on the 15th of February, a man called Mike City AJ would post on his Facebook how his set had been spanking their ops so much that they're about to give up. As his name indicates, Mike City AJ has ties to a set called Mike City, or Mike Block, also known as Gator Gang, a BD set located on 86th and Morgan, which is named in honor of their fallen member Mike, who was killed in 2012. Lamron and Taytown have seemingly been affiliated with Mike City for at least a decade at this point, and AJ himself has clearly been close with K-Town members on social media for a while, even seemingly appearing in a March 2021 music video of TTE Day Day, who's one of Durk's oldest friends from K-Town. A YouTuber called Kenny Rogers, who claims to be from the same neighborhood, would open up about AJ's childhood and reputation in the streets, telling how AJ and other young'uns from Mike City were like sicarios, a private army for hire with a feared reputation, who would eventually get affiliated with OTF members such as Booney Mo.
Watch that and did what we did. You know, but AJ, they decided, like, they like scenarios, but when I say scenario, sicarios, you know what I'm talking about, like a private army for hire, you know what I'm saying? Now we warned them about that because when the guys came out there trying to connect and all that, like, no, we've been holding our own, what's like, we know what y'all own, y'all ain't finna use them, but you know, the younger guys got into too many, you know, they wanted to make a name for themselves. They wanted to hang around because of their name and like that. But we was telling them, y'all bigger than them.
Damn.
Real talk. But AJ, yeah, they was feared, and you can hire them to kill your
We got
cat if you
50
wanted
more
to.
minutes, chat.
and not having
Go take a little
somebody
break,
have
alright?
your paperwork on
Sound
the
good,
internet.
chat? Type 1 if you still locked in. Type 2
now
if
you being affiliated with
asleep.
Booney Mo and OTF and all that other and
Oh, for real, Key?
you know,
That's
doing
crazy.
it to allegedly Stefon Mack, 051 cousin.
Indeed, on the 21st of February, less than a month after Stefon Mack's murder, Durk would drop his music video for the song Aha, which was filmed in Chicago. Later on, online detectives would notice that in one of the Instagram stories posted by people who were at the video shoot, you can see someone who looks a lot like Mike City AJ, showing that he was indeed possibly connected all the way to the very top of the OTF hierarchy. But what people would also notice were the rather revealing lyrics that Durk was dropping in the song. First, he would begin with a disclaimer saying how everything he's about to say is just entertainment and not real. Durk then mentions how his shooters have been sliding through their ops block, but the ops don't even know it, and that someone from the ops side got shot, and while Durk didn't claim it, he can show them proof. Durk would then seemingly be done with beating around the bush, as he would explicitly state how he's been heavy on the downers since DThang got killed, but they already got back for him, and that their ops know it, but they don't post on social media so the police don't find out. Durk would then seemingly change his mind about this all being just entertainment, as he would swear on his brother's life that everything he's speaking is facts and not just a diss. Durk would then end his first verse by saying how people might say that he's just a singer, so he won't kill anyone, but he doesn't care what they think because he got their friend shot. The hook of the song would even acknowledge that Durk's activities will put him in jail, rapping he's dropping locations and getting revenge, and that the feds will soon come. It seems that Durk was sending a
He wasn't lying, nigga. They came. They came, chat.
messages with the song, but likely only the people involved in the Chicago gang wars would truly understand. But what he was clearly putting out there for the whole world to see was that his brother DThang's death was still weighing heavily on his mind, and that for him, this in fact was not just entertainment. Meanwhile, in May 2022, a rapper from the Dump Street or Gutter Gang called GG Juju would release his song titled Don't Be a Fool, where he would seemingly diss DThang by rapping how he will not be searched when going to a club, before mentioning how that is how a fool got killed, and saying that if people mention Gutter Gang, they're going to end up on the news. Juju would also seemingly diss Durk, saying how some people were always acting too tough on their songs and always rapping about Switches and Drakes, but that they got them too. This likely being a reference to Durk literally having a song titled Switches and Drakes. After this, some time would pass, but on the 6th of June 2022, exactly 1 year after DThang's passing, Durk would make another cryptic post on his Instagram story quoting lyrics about someone getting hit and how
Sean the Air got me sick, he got hit, they ain't know. Wait, Sean the Air got me sick, he got hit, they ain't known in the city, only for the people who got split. What?
Certain people are only known in the city because of their friends who got killed. But instead of signing the post with his usual moniker, The Voice, he would sign it this time as The Pump, which some internet sleuths would believe to be yet another sign that Durk was making a reference to the murders of J-Ski and Oil taking place at a gas station pump. Meanwhile, Durk's friend and OTF member Booney Mo would post a much clearer message simply stating F the dump, this seeming like a rather obvious reference to the Dump Street set. The following month in July, Durk and the rapper Lil Osama would release the song F My Cousin Part 2, and this time, Durk wouldn't hold back one bit, rapping a direct threat to his ops that if they were even at the scene when his brother was killed, they're going to die too, before mentioning specifically his ops from the west, with Dump Street being located directly to the west of Taytown and Lamron, saying how two of their members died immediately after DThang's death. At this point, it seemed obvious that if Durk wasn't directly claiming the hit of J-Ski and Oil, he was at least dissing them openly. And then, in December, Booney Mo would release his single titled For Real, together with a lavish music video that was posted on Durk's YouTube channel. And in the song, Booney would repeat Durk's bar about two people dying the next day, whilst also seemingly referring to the shooting that killed DThang as fluky, which some believe supports the idea that DThang might not have even been killed on purpose and was in fact simply hit by a ricocheting bullet. This theory also being supported by the news report about the shooting, with the police describing how DThang was simply caught amongst a barrage of bullets. In April 2023, On A Couch TV would post a hood vlog with none other than Dump Street. But interestingly, they were also joined by the rapper 85th Lil Smoke, who just so happens to be from Smashville, the very hood where Stefon was allegedly from, showing that these sets were indeed very close with each other. In the comments of the video, one viewer would ask On A Couch TV to ask him about DThang, but he would reply calling that viewer federal before saying that he knew that they wouldn't answer questions about that anyway. But still, On A Couch would seize the moment and ask them about Durk, inquiring whether they considered Durk to be the voice of Chicago, which would surprisingly receive a rather cordial response from the crew, who say he's a good rapper, but he's not the voice of the streets, and that he can't stop the gang war.
So how y'all feel about Durk basically taking the title as the voice of the Chicago, like what he say was go on in the trenches?
No shit, what you mean?
He can rap.
He can rap. I ain't lying. But voice of one trenches ain't nobody run. Nobody run. No, listen, bro.
You're a good rapper.
You know, he can rap. He can sing. Voice hell, he
Durk the voice of the streets? Come on, chat. I bump Durk, nigga. That's how you know he's the voice of the streets. I stamp it.
He from that side ain't doing
rappers and everybody can relate to it.
Because he was basically saying, like, if somebody like him came down and wanted to bring peace in Chicago, like, it actually happened.
That happened, man, because too much bloodshed in the city.
Yeah, ain't nobody.
Like, he ain't gonna like it. You can come in your hood, show what the want to it, nah, yeah, but you ain't no, you can't do that for you. Can't talk for everybody. Like you can talk for you.
Meanwhile, Durk would keep
What's your
hinting
stamp
Get
mean?
Back for
A lot.
DThang in his songs, like in the track Pellicoat that he would drop in May as part of his Almost Healed album, where he would once again rap how 2 people had died after DThang's murder. A few months later, on the death day of J-Ski and Oil, a member of a set called Melt Gang, who were affiliated with Dump Street aka Gutter Gang, would finally send a clear message back to Durk by posting an Instagram story with a caption that he was smoking on DThang. In response, a member of Faceworld 079 aka Nooski Gang, who were affiliated with Dog Pound and close to Durk, would share a post about the murders of Oil and J-Ski to his Instagram profile, together with Lil Durk's Pellicoat song, and specifically the part of the song that says how 2 people died after DThang's death, while his very next post would say that Oil and J-Ski were his favourite people to smoke. The dissing between these two alliances had now gone far beyond small subliminal jabs to damn near federal public confessions. But things were about to get a lot more interesting, because in October 2023, Mike City AJ, real name Anthony Montgomery Wilson, together with another man called Marley, real name Preston Powell, would be charged with the murder of Stefon Mack. But this was no ordinary state charge, this was a federal charge. And this was no typical murder charge either, this was a murder for hire. Yes, murder for hire in 2023. As the feds would allege that AJ and Marley had been in contact with someone in another state who had promised them a reward for the murder of Stefon. Following these charges, AJ would be arrested and taken into custody.
Chad, that's not the same big nigga that was running in the hoodie. Was it, Chad? That's not him. That's not him.
But Marley would seemingly make a run for it, with the FBI releasing a wanted poster for him and even local news reporting on his attempt to avoid the law. At the time, it was already clear that the feds were holding any information regarding this case close to their chest, as the file docket for the case is full of sealed documents. But the reason for this would be revealed in December 2024, as the feds would suddenly unseal more documents related to the case in the lead up to Durk's detention hearing in the Lil Pab case, including an application for a search warrant in Texas, and more importantly, an affidavit in support of that application. This affidavit, which dates all the way back to April 2023, would reveal explosive information that the feds were indeed investigating Lil Durk's connection to the murder of Stefon Mack. The affidavit would provide numerous interesting details about Mack's murder, including the fact that Mike City AJ had done a C-Day and left his phone at the crime scene, and that while at the crime scene, he had
Chat, what?
including the fact that Mike City AJ had done a C-Day and left his phone at the crime scene, and that while at the crime scene, he had also been calling Marley by name. While after the murder, the two had been openly discussing their upcoming payment from Lil Durk, and after seemingly receiving the payment, AJ had been bragging about it and claiming the hit on social media.
What? Bro, these niggas just don't be smart.
By posting himself with a big stack of cash, together with the lyrics from Lil Durk's Aha song, with findings like these prompting Chiracologists online to joke how Durk had hired the dumbest assassins on earth to do the job. An employee of the youth center would also allegedly reveal to the feds that the killers had been tipped off about Mack's location.
Wait, Co-Conspirator A and Co-Conspirator B were brothers and were members of the gang Risky Road. What? They were risky?
By 2 brothers from a set called Risky Road, who seemingly knew Marley, aka Powell, as he lived in their hood at the time of the crime, but the paperwork would also reveal some interesting background information. For example, the feds would claim that Mack was not only affiliated with Smashville, but according to their informant, he was in fact the set's leader. Another informant, on the other hand, would claim that Lil Durk was offering money for the murder of those responsible for his brother's death, and even for the murder of any gangster disciple in general. The same informant would also reveal that Dump Street had indeed been behind DThang's murder, and that Mack had been a close associate with a Dump Street member who the feds referred to as Individual A. Individual A would turn out to be a man named Diamani Green, who had been arrested in December 2021 for an unrelated double murder, and who would be better known in the streets as Gutter Gang Puke, or simply GG Puke, as his rap name would be. Following the release of this paperwork, many would start to claim that GG Puke was in fact the Dump Street member responsible for the murder of DThang, although the feds would not explicitly make this connection in the paperwork, as they would simply state that according to their informant, DThang was killed by members, plural, of Dump Street, and that Puke, aka Individual A, A was a close associate of Mack, not that individual A killed DThang. However, to many, it would seem that the feds were heavily alluding to Puke being the one responsible for the murder and the reason why Mack was ultimately killed. It's also worth noting that the Chiracologist had been alluding to a locked-up rapper from the dump street being responsible for DThang's death even before the new paperwork, and after Puke's name would begin to circulate, the online sleuths would quickly uncover a 7-year-old Zach TV video showing Puke hanging out in Harvey, the very city where DThang would eventually be killed. Meanwhile, Lil Durk's music has continued to provide more insights into the events related to his brother's death. In early 2024, his song called Survivor, or I Did It Without You, was leaked online, the lyrics seemingly describing why Durk would eventually fall out with his old set Lamron, siding fully with the Tay-Town instead, as Durk would seemingly insinuate that Lamron had not tried to retaliate after DThang's death, and that if he catches any dump street members on Lamron's block, he's going to kill them and the Lamron members with them. Around the same time as this song would leak, dump street rapper Gigi Montana would post a snippet to his song where he appears to be taking shots at Durk, literally taunting him about DThang's murder while saying that they're beefing with real rap goofies. For now, there's no charges against Durk in the murder of Stefon Mack, and it seems that these documents were unsealed more in an effort to prevent Durk from getting bail on the Lil Pab murder case. Ultimately, only time will tell if he will end up going down for his brother too. But what's most interesting is that if Durk was indeed using his rap money...
What's the song called again, chat? So what's the song called? Lil Durk what? Survivor. Never heard of it. It's a leak? Chat, that's a leak? Oh my God. Damn. Hold on. Oh my God. Oh God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. He said he didn't even shine none. He still give him his props. Damn, I didn't even know this shit leaked.
Pay for his enemies to be killed in the streets. From here, his career would only continue to rise, and rather suspiciously, so too would the body count, as more and more of those people who Durk had issues with would wind up dead, with Durk never missing an opportunity to jump on the mic and brag about these murders for the whole world to hear. While the murders of DThang's killers were incredibly personal to Lil Durk, the murder of FBG Duck was very much just business as usual in the world of Chicago's long-running gang wars. But while Duck at the time had been the face of the gangster disciples in his city, after his murder, one of his close friends would step up to fill the void that he left. This was the rapper FBG Cash, real name Tristan Hamilton. Born on October the 5th, 1990, Cash was several years older than most of his peers in the early drill scene, including his little brother, FBG Young, who was born in 1996. Cash was born into a family of GDs, and with his father being in the streets too, Cash would be exposed to that lifestyle early, jumping off the porch in his grade school years.
Yeah, my pop was always in the streets. As kids, we was already in the street, exposed to the street. You know what I'm saying? It was just a time we had to come home, but we saw everything that who ain't from the streets and ain't jumped off the porch ain't saw. We saw all young age so far as like coming out doing shit on my own through grade school years, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I heard Beverly Hills.
I got a chance to pop out and go somewhere without my people.
The Durk currently not fucking with Lamron? No, just
T-Town.
Cash and Young's family would eventually move to around the 63rd and St. Lawrence area when Cash was in 9th grade, and there they would join the local gang set, STL-EBT, and begin to spend time with other guys from the set like Duck and Dutchy. The four would eventually form the rap group Flyboy Gang, aka FBG, together with rappers like Lil J, Billionaire Black, Duck's brother Brick, and Wooski, who was always more in the streets than in the booth, but would still rep the name at times in his music. However, before that, in 2009, when Cash was only 18 years old, he would get arrested for an armed robbery and get sentenced to 6 years, which meant that Cash would end up being locked up during the critical years when the war between the GDs and BDs would begin to escalate in the Woodlawn area. While Young and Dutchy and Duck would first begin to rap under the FBG moniker, and the drill movement as a whole would begin to form, with artists from the Woodlawn and Washington Park neighborhoods playing a key role in the genre's birth. With good time though, Cash would ultimately end up only doing 31 months, and in 2011 he would be released on house arrest. Cash would seemingly spend his time on social media, where he was making his affiliations known. His first tweet being how he's repping Dale Mob, a name that STL-EBT would call themselves after the murder of Dale Fisher in December 2011, and of course repping their rap group FBG that he was now part of, as well as shouting out their affiliates like the MOB set and the Brick Squad, or dissing their ops like Fredo Santana, aka Mr. Scary Sight, and E-Day from 600. Cash was clearly studying the new drill scene, and seeing it blow up right in front of him, he too would decide to get into rapping and make a name for himself. Being now part of the FBG crew, who were already making noise within the scene, Cash was in a great position to make it rapping, but he also had an ace up his sleeve to go viral. See, when Cash had been 16, he'd been messing around with an older woman, but this wasn't just any woman. This was Chief Keef's mother, Lola,
remember
who used to live in the Parkway Gardens, better known as Ogla. Now, with Keef being possibly the hottest...
Yo, Chad, you know how crazy it is to have an op fuck your mom? Yo, Chad, like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, yo, Chad, certain niggas be playing with fire so much that it's like, can you even blame these niggas for retaliating? Like, certain niggas be playing so crazy. You feel me?
New artist in the world at that point, and being the #1 enemy of Cash's STL-EBT set due to often dissing them and their dead member Tuka in his music, Cash decided to clap back and use his old fling with Keith's mother to create publicity for himself in the drill scene, as he would many years later explain to a very confused Adam22 who had seemingly missed this part of the early drill history.
How'd you go about getting into the music?
Like, I felt like, so like, they was already ahead of me in the race. That wasn't even a race for us, but they was already off, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I ain't want to just be the one to just drop a song and then they do poor, you know what I'm saying? So I was trying to do something to grab that attention. I started, made me and I ain't even make a Twitter yet. I was on Instagram, man, it wasn't even popping like that. It wasn't no live, but like, it was some that happened with me and Chief Keef's mama. And that just put me over the top, like, as far as like people want to know who I am.
Back then in 2012?
Like, yeah, like that's when it came to.
What happened with his mom?
Like I used to with her. Like, yeah. Yeah. I ain't gonna count, you know what I'm saying? It's been said before. Like, they ain't even have to bring it up. That's my people, you know what I'm saying? She cool people, but like me and her relationship.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Nigga talking about my mom like this, bro. It's getting slimy. Like, yeah. I ain't gonna lie, Chad.
I kind of feel weird. Like, I feel like you might be trolling me, and I don't want to have a serious conversation about it if you're just trolling me, but, you know.
In the summer of 2012, Cash would film himself calling Chief Keef's mother without her knowledge and trick her into admitting their relationship, with the video then getting posted online, where it would soon find itself going viral on worldstar.com, the biggest hip-hop culture platform at the time.
Calling Chief Keef mom, man. Real. Yeah, man, I ain't mean that shit up on you. Hey, what's up, man? When you gonna give me tickets to your son's show or something? I said, when you gonna give me tickets to one of your son's show or something? Yeah, I know that shocked you, man. Your little son blew up. You would never guess that.
This is crazy. What story am I gonna lie?
I know, that's crazy. I done got me some famous.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Yo, chat, bro. You see what I'm saying? Certain niggas be asking for it. Bro. Yo, chat, like, nah, chat, real shit. Certain niggas be asking for it, nigga. Like,
How long you been with me, man?
niggas said they gonna if I say when they gonna arrest me. What? He died? Yeah, he died.
I know you trust me. That's what's up. That little lady, though, man. 7 years, yeah, that's how about right.
This is crazy.
I used to work at the metro station. How much you keep was in?
Yo, certain niggas be asking for it. I swear, bro. Certain niggas be asking for that shit.
Ain't no duplicate. Y'all the real thing nowadays, man. I got the real. Hey. Boy, when you finish doing all that, right? Alright. Alright, come. Oh, wow, with man, she keep wrong, man. You just heard all that, man.
The video sparked widespread rumors and even created more animosity between these two warring gangs. But some people on Keith's side would seemingly also find it funny too, with King Von himself even tweeting about the incident, making fun of it.
I ain't gonna lie, my old hood cheated that chat. I ain't gonna lie. No, chat, no, chat, I ain't gonna lie. This is fucked up. Nah, this is fucked up. Vaughn dead ass wrong.
Keith, calling Cash his stepdad. The drill fans' eyes were now on Cash too, but soon after, a tragedy would strike, as Cash's good friend Lil Jojo would end up getting killed. But that wasn't all, because after Jojo's death, Worldstar would make a post out of it, calling Lil Jojo the brother of Cash, or Cash Out, as he was going by the time. Cash would further boost his name by doing a radio interview where he would discuss his beef with Chief Keef and the death of Lil Jojo, as well as his plans to become a rapper.
Got a mixtape coming out. But you know him from the controversy that's been going on up in Chicago in the rap scene, and you also know him from Worldstar Hip Hop. My homeboy, Mr. Cash Out. Cash Out, what's going on?
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. I mean, I told you when they said you were looking for him, I said, man, let me go on and get on the ground and he gonna hide the f***
out. Man, I don't know how that play out, but I know I ain't hard to be fair on those.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. Now, I want the people to understand, one, why you're here, because there's a lot of stuff we want to talk about. We're going to get into rap stuff. We're just going to get into real life stuff, so we're going to allow you to talk about everything. But why don't you tell them what transpired to make you seek me out?
Man, my name Cash Out, man. Cash Out 063. I'm 63rd St. Lawrence. And I've been in the streets since I was a shorty, man. Everything I do is valid. Everything I do got a stamp on it. I started a Twitter page. I just recently come home from prison, so a lot of this stuff, like, it ain't new to me, but since it's been in the media and everything, like, it's basically I hear where I'm from. It's like in
This perhaps...
Yo, this is crazy. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, chat. Certain niggas be asking for it. Yo, chat, I'm gonna keep reiterating that, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie, chat. Like, certain niggas be asking for it, bro. Another man holding my daughter, are you cool? Yo.
That's being made possible. Jason collabs with his at the time girlfriend Dej Loaf, Cash would tweet how their song was actually alright. But in 2016, Cash would get into a particularly bad situation with the law as he was arrested and allegedly charged with 4 felonies, which would end up getting him locked up for an even longer period, before eventually getting released in August 2017 and getting back to his usual activities like releasing music by himself and with his FBG brothers, and now also beginning to enjoy the increased attention that the whole FBG was getting.
Classic. Yo, chat, I ain't gonna lie. I'm still a little bit fried, but I'm coming down a little bit. Coming down. Y'all can tell? Chat, can y'all tell I'm coming down a little bit? I'm coming down a little bit. You feel me? I'm coming down a little bit. Yo, chat, we 30 minutes away. Y'all still locked in? Y'all still locked in, chat? We locked in, right?
Where Wooski would let the ops have it, including guys like Lil Durk, Wooski, Pluto, and Chino. Cash wasn't ducking any smoke either, as he too would proudly take part in the music video. Unfortunately, Cash would eventually get in trouble with the law once again, this time for threatening a police officer, and soon he would find himself behind bars once again, before seemingly getting released during the summer of 2020. However, not long after, in June 2020, an incident would take place that would significantly escalate the beef between Cash and OTF, as Cash would get sucker punched at the famous Lenox Mall in Atlanta, allegedly by none other than Lil Lil Durk's childhood friend Day from Tay-Town, after which Tay-Town members like OTF would allegedly join in and chase Cash out of the
Throw back to 2020 when Day caught FBG Cash at Linux and punched him. Then other Tay-Town members, including Day and Wicked Man, jumped in and chased him out the mall. Damn.
The mall.
Change. RP my cousin for heartbeat will be the same.
Damn.
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 Will be the same. Oh, what the hell? Damn.
Cash will talk about the incident on Instagram Live, mocking those who attacked him for failing to steal his chain and not doing anything of note to him despite being alone.
These so weak, folks. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Hey, G, let me find out you in the bathroom, G.
He ate that though.
Them people just, I'm in the dressing room. These jumped on me in limits right now.
No.
Like 7, folks. And then they didn't even take my chain. They didn't even run my pockets. They didn't even take my phone.
I would have blinked. So what the issue was?
No, just FBG, hookah. They didn't even take the chain. He a little bit something. She like, I spit some for you.
Some fans would later speculate that Durk was indirectly referencing this incident in his song All Love, where he rapped how his ops are always getting jumped at malls, but this song had in fact been released months prior to the incident. However, Day himself would seemingly mention the incident in a March 2021 song, Catch a Op, with
interaction.
O-Block, which featured the classic drill anthem Back Again, featuring Lil Durk and Prince Dre. A song that starts with Durk rapping.
Chat, no funny shit. This is my favorite song by Durk and Vaughn. This is the best song Durk and Vaughn ever produced, on God. This is one of my favorite songs by them too. Classic. Classic.
He does.
How did he tell you to?
He through text. Nah, he blocked me now, but yeah, through text.
What you want to show me your conversation with him?
Nah, he blocked me. He blocked me.
The conversation.
So you think he's trolling or you think he's serious?
Is that right?
Nuh-uh.
You delete text?
Yeah, like when I only see, I ain't big on confrontation sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like most times, I ain't big on confrontation. So when I go through, I don't know. And then that was distasteful, man. Like,
what was the? What kind of conversation were you having before he told you to go take this photo?
Me, him, go over there and do that and see what happened to you. I'm like, I'm outside right now.
You hit him up?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was just like, hey, what's up? Why Chicago's so weird because the ops always be talking to each other and like going on live and tweeting at each other. And
you would have saved that shit? I mean, he probably don't want to show. He probably thought it's federal. I mean, he could be trolling. I mean, I don't know.
See a ton of that in LA.
I told Durk, stop sneak dissing me before he left me on scene.
Really? So you kept barking on him?
No, I just left it. He left me on scene. I just left it alone in the DM.
Right.
Going back and forth with the ops was apparently a common thing, as other DMs between Cash and O-Block's Mana Duke would later leak online too.
Hey Duke. Hey Duke.
How do these niggas be getting these DMs? Hello, you chase clout. I forgot you ain't gonna get it off me, clout boy. You say you mention folks first. Keep your head up. I ain't hiding. I ain't looking for you. I know you ain't. You bet not. What you trying to do? Get your followers up? And which one do you know? I got so many. Oh my God.
Listen to me, folks. Listen to me, folks. Listen to what I'm saying, folks. Pull your skirt down, folks. You not making no noise, folks. I'll ball you up and put you in the garbage can, boy. you can't see me with binoculars, dude. You can't see me on no type of level, folks. You better stop sharing them bankrolls with niggas, folks. You can't beat me on the song. You can't beat me at fighting, spit, none of that weightlifting. We can pitch quarters. You can't beat me, dude. You hear me? You hear me? Take time try to get some followers up. Man, hey, look here. Go to your room.
He said women lie, men lie, numbers don't. You can't see me in nothing.
A few days after the mural picture, Cash would double down by releasing the song Back Again 2 times, a direct reference to Von's song Back Again, where Durk had seemingly dissed him. The music video starts with Cash watching a clip of Durk's $1 million worth of game episode where OTF sings along to the original Back Again song dissing Wooski.
We into it till you die, real street. Some funeral, I might decide. Rest in peace. Shoot up everybody that's outside. When we feel this one, I know Wooski still twisted. He changed something different.
The song itself would be a pure diss song towards Durk and the entire OTF, as Cash would go back to back dissing their members, like saying how OTF Varney got put in a wheelchair and how Lil Durk still hasn't gone back for Von. He would also diss Lil Durk's fallen friend, Pluto and Lil Mo from Lamron, and even Durk's brother DThang, saying that he doesn't go to Club O anymore where DThang died. It was no surprise then that Lil Durk would seemingly respond to Cash soon after, as he would allegedly post and delete an Instagram story.
Don't diss Thang if you be lingering and chasing shit. Well and well.
With a cryptic message saying that someone shouldn't be dissing DThang if they're chasing girls and lingering in places because it won't end well. And also in March, Durk would release his song Computer Murderers, which appeared to address Cash's photo in front of the Von mural, as Durk warned someone about sneaking pics in front of the mural like his goons won't come out from O-Block and shoot them. Only a few months later, things would really begin to go wrong for FBG Cash, as the Chicago YouTuber and hip-hop journalist Drea O would later reveal. Cash would do an interview with her sometime in May, where he would reveal that he had recently been in an incident where he and a girl he was with had been shot at while they were in the car during the early morning hours.
Look, so I did right, cause like folks, somebody had just shot me last week, but it was just like so mild. So, got shot. But it wasn't shot. Look, like look, this what they did. This what they did. Like did fuck. You get shot as bullet fragments? They bullet fragments. So look, this was the did. I was in the car with them. Hell no. Look. So like this one is the one that went through the car. I was in the passenger seat. He flamed that bitch up and saw through the front window in the back. What? Knocked the back window out, everything. So like.
You were driving and shooting at you?
No, I was in the passenger seat, so that nigga shooting so hard, I couldn't even. It was this female, like. And then I think it was her because like I was at her crib at like 4:20 in the morning. Her just left Rap a lot, so I was sitting at her crib. And a guy kept on calling her phone. Call. So I'm like, she's like, oh my God, he steady calling. I'm like, who? He's like, my boyfriend. I'm like, all right. She's like, I hope he don't come over here. So like my girl was sitting right here, but see when you got keys to your crib or something? She was like, yeah, damn, now you see, yeah, I forgot I gave him keys. Don't matter, but I'm like,
this
I like
is
an
scary.
Instagram model motherfucker. Of course now, I'm like, all right, man, we kicking it. So I'm like, yeah, I want to get up out of here. But I had parked my car, so I get in the car with her, boom. So man, her tent's light as hell, so I raised my seat all the way back. So we got off, and we was on our way to my crib there. And she was like, oh my God, why they always on me like that? My gun like this, I always sit on my gun and shit. I'm like, somebody asked the police? No, they ain't the police. So I looked up just a little bit, like, oh, ain't the police. Went back on my phone. Boom. Damn! He boom. So I'm like, but I never got back up. I was just like, damn. Cause I thought she was shot, so I was trying to push that out the car. Yeah. Like,
why are you trying to push out the car?
I'm trying to push out because I thought she got shot, but I was like, when I see she was like, whoa. I'm like, drive. She drives. I'm like, now I could get my out, because that's the only reason I put my because I thought it was the police, just in case they stop her. And I'm like, now I'm getting right, but I'm like, damn, what is? She was like, they turned off. I'm like, all right, bet. I'm like, just drive. Directed to my crib. And when I was trying to get up out the car, I had pushed the rest of the window out, like, because the police was coming towards us.
This is not normal. Like, by the way, this is.
Yeah.
Dramatic and crazy. Like,
Yeah, but I done been so many people been shot around me.
It's not confirmed who the girl who Cash was with that night, but only a few weeks later, he would find himself in the exact same situation. But unfortunately, this time, he wouldn't be as lucky. In what was titled as the last video of Cash alive, he was seen having fun in a recording studio wearing a black hoodie with a green print. And then, in the early morning of the 10th of June 2022, Cash had allegedly been at a nightclub where he had gotten into an altercation with some unknown people. Then, around 5:30 a.m., Cash and the woman named Tasha West would be driving in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood, located immediately south of Inglewood. Cash was driving his Ford Edge SUV on the 1600 block of West 81st Street, while the woman was reportedly sleeping in the car at this time. Their destination possibly being Cash's home on the 8100 block of South Marshfield Avenue, which was only about a minute drive away. However, when arriving at the intersection, a black Cadillac would pull up on the car, and two unknown suspects would begin shooting at them. At this point, Cash would attempt to run from the shooters after bailing out the car, but he would eventually collapse on a grass verge next to the sidewalk beside a tree, while the shooters would then flee the scene in the Cadillac. Police and ambulances would arrive at the scene with gruesome pictures of Cash's body on the ground and being loaded into an ambulance, later going viral, with Cash notably being left laying next to that tree. Cash and the woman would be transported to the Advocate Christ Medical Center, where Cash would unfortunately be pronounced dead.
Units 6 and Citywide, we have a shot spotter at 8059 South Marshfield, 8059 South Marshfield, 22 rounds, nothing further, zone 8 station clear.
Well-known Chicago area rapper was killed in a drive-by shooting early this morning in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood. 31-year-old Tristan Hamilton was shot multiple times. According to the Sun-Times, he raps under the name FBG Cash. A 29-year-old woman with him was also shot, taken to the hospital in serious condition. It is believed Hamilton fired back at the shooter. Police don't have anyone in custody, at least not yet. 2 years ago, another rapper close to Hamilton, known as FBG Duck, was also shot and killed.
The police incident report would later reveal that a total of 23 shell casings were found at the scene, with 14 from a rifle and 9 from a
14 from a 7.62? These niggas slid on this nigga with a Drake?
.40 caliber pistol, while the medical examiner's report would reveal that Cash had been struck in the head, neck, back, chest, and legs. Reports also indicated that the shooting went down in 2 phases, with 18 initial rounds being fired, followed by a pause, then another 5 rounds, perhaps suggesting that the shooters wanted to ensure that Cash didn't survive and stood over him shooting to finish him off, with this detail seemingly being referenced by witnesses to the crime, as well as later lyrics that refer to the murder. Rumors would later even circulate, suggesting that Cash's killers might have even tracked him using an Apple AirTag. But following Cash's death, Chiracologists on Reddit would soon begin to react, like posting theories about his ops, such as 600 Breezy possibly dissing Cash by posting a picture of himself smoking on his Instagram story, while another commenter would say how Mimo600 had also posted a similar picture. A day or two after Cash's murder, his cousin and fellow rapper BG Lil Pat would make several posts dedicated to him, including a video of himself driving around together with the caption implying that he was going to slide for a month straight to get revenge. However, Pat would also make an alleged post and delete story where he could be seen walking in O-Block, which would immediately start theories that O-Block had been responsible for Cash's murder. About a week after Cash's death, Digital Real YouTube channel would post a vlog from O-Block where one of their members can be seen heavily dissing him, which would further boost the theories that O-Block was behind the hit.
Low gang only. Dummy, zip him up. Put him up. Dead on the right. Straight to the wall. Ain't make the hospital. Straight to the wall. The world wants supposed to have everybody twice sing everything but the women and everything but these legends. We all been known as cash out, but we ain't crashed out. Oh, gang only.
Meanwhile, Buck Munna, who is part of a set called TSG, who are the younger generation of O-Block, would make a post on his Facebook 2 days after Cash's murder, where he can be seen flexing a stack of money in front of the King Von mural in a very similar photo to the one Cash had taken at the mural just before.
Yo, these niggas be, yo, Chad. Yo, first off, this nigga's a fad. Second off, these niggas be stupid. Third off, bro, this shit is crazy. Like, I ain't gonna lie.
His death, together with a caption where he would call himself the devil, while in another picture he would be pointing gun fingers towards the ground as if standing over someone whilst killing them with a gun. This flexing raised a lot of eyebrows amongst Redditors. However, it was an Instagram video posted by an O-Block member, T-Money, which would really make fans think that Buck Munna might have been the one who killed Cash, as he had been seen in the video allegedly showing a close-up photo of a body that looks like Cash's. However, it wasn't only O-Block who were hinting at their involvement, as OTF members would also go live 2 days after Cash's death to celebrate OTF DD's birthday. But the celebration of life would seemingly soon turn into a celebration of death, as someone would reference lyrics from Durk's song What Happened to Virgil by then asking, what happened to your mans? While OTF Varney would then reference lyrics from Durk and Pooh Shiesty Ice-T's Back in Blood song, saying how all of that woofing on the internet had got someone's friend killed, before someone else would repeatedly yell headshot, this also being the chorus of Durk's Computer Murderers song, where Durk would seemingly warn Cash about taking photos in front of the Von mural.
I'm gonna go fishing with my brother. They like, damn, what happened to Virgil? I'm like, damn, what happened to your mans? All that woofing on the net, it got your mans hit. Headshot. But us crew equal a lot. Make a trailer to that. Headshot.
Moments later in the same live, the group can be heard rapping King Von's lyrics from the Back Again song, where Durk had also seemingly dissed Cash, before Varney immediately shouts Long Live V-Roy and recites Durk's lyrics from his Aha song, saying how people can believe whatever they want, but Lil Durk got your folks hit.
Oh, folks now, long live V-Roy. Hey, boy, you talking You can believe whatever you want. I got your folks hit. Aha.
Later in the same month, Lil Durk would release the deluxe version of his 7220 album, which would include the song Risky. In the song, Durk rapped how someone would be an easy kill because they chase girls, and that standing over someone while killing them is his favorite pose, with these lyrics seemingly describing the exact way that Cash died, before also rapping how someone wouldn't die about their friend, but they'll die about a girl, which could be seen as a reference to how Cash seemingly didn't get back to Duck, but he ended up dying because he was with a girl that night, with some fans seeing this song to be Lil Durk self-snitching about getting Cash killed. Durk's song was then followed in July by the group song To The Top by O-Block members Mana Ike, Durkee, Buck Munna, and G Nook, where Buck Munna would provide a full verse of apparent hints towards Cash's murder, starting by saying how they're going to spin and spin again until they cash out, before saying that if their victim tries to run, they'll chase him down, and now he's on the news, and ending by saying how they caught someone loafing with his boo, before saying again how they're going to put him on the news. In June, rumors would circulate that Lamron members might have been responsible after an IG story was uploaded by members claiming to be smoking Cash.
Yeah. My boy.
Now we coming.
Yeah.
Smoking Cash.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Later in July, Durk would go live with Booney Mo, Dee and other OTF members, during which they would count huge stacks of cash, while a clearly intoxicated Lil Durk and other members would gleefully begin to repeat the line, "They know that we did it," which is from Booney Mo's at the time unreleased song, "We Did It," that was later put on the incredibly incriminating album Loyal Bros 2.
They know that we did it.
They know that we did it. They know that we did it.
They know that we did it. Drop song, man. We got a lot of raw shit on the
jam.
A few minutes later, Durk begins to rap his verse from the also at the time unreleased song Threats to Everybody, where he raps that if you play with him, you're going to end up by that tree, which many have seen to be a direct reference to Cash, whose body was indeed found laying on the grass next to that tree. For some reason, the other members would find these lyrics incredibly funny, but it was Booney Mo who would really crack them up once again, repeating the line, "They know that we did it."
You ain't had your gun for them, you better have your gun for me. Better have your gun for Booney. Better have your gun for C. You don't believe me, you gon' see. You gon' end up by that tree.
Know that we did it.
The connection to Cash wasn't lost on the fans, who would comment on the YouTube video about this live, how OTF were clearly trolling Cash. Meanwhile, Buck Munna would also go live, seemingly sometime in July, where he would rap lyrics that were clearly about FBG Cash, like saying that now that he's dead, he can't take another pic, a clear reference to Cash's picture in front of the Von mural, as well as saying how their ops are mad that an old man is in the body bag, and how the switches made him crash, and that he doesn't smoke Tuka anymore, he smokes Cash.
He dead and gone, that's what he get, man. He can't take another pic. He got hit, he took word around it was a neck. I'm for that block where they don't play. I don't play, I take his face. And I ain't missed cause I know they pissed, I know they mad that man up in the bag. The switches came and made him crash. I don't smoke Tuka, I smoke Cash. I'm just lying, weak, that's all that G.
Buck Munna would further raise eyebrows after a vlog circulated, seeming to show him laughing and reenacting what Cash did when he tried to run away after getting shot.
Yo, Chad, these niggas be provoking, bro.
You try to run, you know you couldn't run.
Cash's former manager would seemingly further point the finger towards O-Block, as he would post himself in August dropping the O-Block hand sign, whilst unconfirmed rumours would begin to spread that Cash's murder had been picked up by the feds, just as Stefon Mack's murder would eventually be picked up in 2023, this pointing to the theory that Cash's murder had possibly also involved interstate communication and exchanges of money. Buck Munna would continue to drop lyrics that seemed to point to Cash's murder, like his November 2022 song Come Here, where he would rap about jumping out in all black, just like the shooters in Cash's case, and how the ARP had hit the victim's back, just like what what happened to Cash as he tried to run from his killers. In December, Booney Mo would finally release his song We Did It that they had been rapping during that Instagram live, where besides rapping the line about how they did it, he would also rap
glad Durk is never getting out, bro. What?
How he pays for his shorties to go slide and kill people. A message which, funnily enough, was also shared by OTF Jam in his March 2023 song War with the City, with Redditors commenting how this verse had finally convinced them that Booney Mo had paid for Cash's murder. However, there has also been other theories about Cash's murder, with one of them claiming that Cash was backdoored by people close to him, particularly a man named Big Dale, who was an OG from Cash's hood and father of one of Cash's best friends, Fat Shorty from Jaro City, who was killed in 2021, with this backdoor theory stemming from a rumor that Cash had actually gotten Fat Shorty killed by accident during a house party argument gone wrong. This theory would end up gaining so much traction that even DJU would ask FBG Young about it, but Young would seemingly disregard these rumors as nothing more than YouTubers trying to get views.
R.I.P. Was responsible for like backdooring your brother FBG Cash.
Yeah.
So who is Big Dale? Let's start there. Or who was he to y'all?
Big Dale's one of the guys from the neighborhood.
What do you think of these rumors?
I don't think the internet. I don't listen to that.
Word.
Yeah. I don't pay that no mind though. Like that would make a good story for the internet, won't it?
It sound crazy as hell to me.
All right. It's some nice views, won't it? I mean, I don't be paying not that serious to me. I don't pay it no mind.
Since the murder, there's been endless speculation on Reddit as to exactly who might have been involved in Cash's murder, with polls even circulating that allowed members to vote on which gang they felt were most likely responsible. One Reddit post circulated names of 5 potential suspects from the OTF, TTE,
FBG Cash murder information. Everything we know. There is much false information about this case and no single thread which complies to information. Here's a quick post. There are multiple names being mentioned online for who might be responsible. Obviously, all 5 couldn't be involved together. And maybe even none of these are the names that come up online. Okay, I don't think it's Black. I know who Black is. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. This
one of the names
police.
listed, OTF Black, had made a post to IG days after the murder saying that if you want respect in the streets, you have to get your bodies up, and boasting how Lil Varney gave him a CEO chain when he got out of jail and told him to stand on his ops' necks, with Black responding that it's OTF forever and he's got this, with people on Reddit commenting that this was some of the most insane self-snitching that they'd ever seen. However, OTF Black would later deny this and call out Reddit for putting bodies on him in a block-to-block interview alongside iTrap Rob and Tero.
Internet definitely put a body on you. They put one on me.
Yeah?
That one blew me up.
Trying to say he did. Oh, damn.
Oh, damn.
Where that come from? Reddit, DJU, all that.
They got you on Reddit teed up.
Another person named in that post, TTE Stain, would also be mentioned in other posts that alluded to having committed a crime.
Hope 12 don't find us. They say it was a black.
In designer clothing.
Hope 12 don't find us. They said it was a black nigga. He had dreads. He pop out in designer.
The post would claim without evidence that Ty Munna was being investigated for the murder, while another pointed the finger at Lil Mike from O Block. Numerous people would point the finger at Booney Mo from OTF, saying that he was the one who orchestrated the hit, which is interesting considering how happy he seemed about it on the live with Lil Durk. Others would point the finger at OTF DD, with some suggesting that Durk had been pushing DD's career as a reward after the hit. At the moment, Cash's murder still remains unsolved, and to be clear, there's no real evidence that either O Block or OTF had anything to do with it, at least publicly. But then again, not so long ago, there was also nothing but rumors connecting Durk to the murder of Stefon Mack. Now, many people on Reddit think it's only a matter of time before they put this murder on Lil Durk too. But what we...
Maybe. Chat, what y'all think? Hold on, let me use the restroom. Alright, chat. It's 8 o'clock. Damn. I ain't gonna lie, I was getting into with that shit. Chat, it's 8 o'clock. Chat, let me take a break now. Can we take our break now, chat? I ain't gonna lie, that shit was getting good, oh God. Yo, chat, did those 3 hours go back quick? Chat, did those 3 hours go